What can I help you with? Trusting me out.
Can I talk to you?
What do you need?
Okay, I'm investigating a homicide involving a person that stayed here.
Tell me it's not Jade.
Yes, it is. And that's why I need to talk to her.
She died?
She was murdered.
This is Alice Castillo, the mother of Jade's best friend Julia, and the woman who had opened her home to a young mother in need. She's about to hear the words no one should ever hear about someone they've welcomed into their family.
Is it making sense right now? I'm not trying to be a jerk, but I need to know what happened to her, and I know that she was staying here.
I kicked her out 2 weeks ago because she brought a man in my house.
The victim is 22-year-old Jade Alyssa Alvarez, a young mother to a little boy named Jeremiah Rodriguez. Jade's life had not been easy. She had recently fallen on hard times, drifting between homes, carrying the weight of unemployment, strained family ties, and uncertainty. Yet despite the struggle, Jade was determined to turn things around. She was making plans to return to school, rebuild her life, and give her son the stability she never had. Those dreams ended in the early hours of April 6, 2023, when Jade's body was discovered beside a suitcase on the side of a San Antonio road.
She was on her phone.
She's got a bag. I think this is her husband.
Okay.
So she's moving out.
This house?
I don't know. But she's leaving.
She had been shot multiple times, her phone still clenched in her hand. But the real story was only beginning. Who would want Jade dead? Why was her best friend suddenly refusing to talk to detectives?
Can I meet you and talk to you in person?
I cannot right now. You're really throwing me off. What is this about?
And how did this trail of silence, fear, and betrayal lead police to a man whose obsession would prove deadly? On the night before her death, Jade Alvarez was staying with her best friend Julia. Life had been rough. Arguments at home, nowhere steady to live, and a constant search for stability. Still, Jade was trying to hold things together. That evening, she borrowed Julia's phone to make a call. Whoever she spoke to, Jade was insistent. She wanted to be dropped off on Capitol Avenue. Julia agreed, driving her part of the way. On April 6, 2023 at 3:45 a.m., a San Antonio patrol officer cruises along Ridgewood Drive. Rain still slicks the pavement, his headlights catching something unusual, a large suitcase sitting by the curb. He pulls over, body cam humming, expecting a case of dumped belongings. But just a few feet away lies a young woman. She's been shot multiple times, her shirt torn, her arms scratched, her phone still clutched in her hand, as if she tried to call for help but never had the chance. The officer's voice trembles into the radio. She's got blood coming out of her leg, bullet wound to the stomach.
I said, she's got blood coming out of her leg. She's got a bullet shot in her stomach. Then her shirt is torn. She's got a torn shirt. Which makes me wonder if she gets herself out of somebody.
Yeah. That's like a burn mark, huh? Maybe. Maybe you fucking hit her. Run over, hit her or something, go by her.
Looks like she was run over or something. This is bad. At 4:20 a.m., backup units arrive. Officers circle the scene, flashlights cutting across the soaked grass. The open suitcase, clothing scattered around, suggests she was leaving somewhere, moving out in a rush. One officer mutters what others are already thinking. Looks personal. Last-minute breakup. She had her stuff. He didn't like it.
Telling John was probably, she was getting out of the car and bam, gets her, she gets out, she's on shoulder. He gets out, grabs the fucking luggage, throws it, goes behind her, boom, boom, on the back of the head.
I think what's giving me like the heebie-jeebies is that it's somewhere she knows, you know?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
This was a little personal.
Yep.
Yeah.
But the storm had masked everything. No neighbors reported hearing shots. No one saw a car fleeing. The night had given the killer perfect cover.
Yeah, if I see any disturbances, but I didn't see anything in the 240s. Yeah. Nothing. The alarm.
And it was raining. This is the perfect time to do it.
Yeah. Got one. I think we got showcased. I think she got shot in the back of the head.
Yeah.
I said she was running. She was moving from somebody.
Headshot.
I see. It was like, cause she's got a suitcase with a wheel. So I'm trying to see if maybe she was, dragging it through here, and no one called it in.
At 7 a.m., Daylight bleeds into the neighborhood as detectives begin canvassing doors. A name surfaces quickly: 22-year-old Jade Alyssa Alvarez, a young mother, a daughter, someone who had been drifting between homes, trying to rebuild. Alice Castillo, who had been housing Jade at her daughter Julia's request, is told the devastating truth. Jade is gone, murdered on the roadside. Later that morning, detectives trace Jade's last known movements to the home of her best friend, Julia Castillo.
Hi, Detective Tudor with the San Antonio PD Homicide.
Say again, I'm sorry?
Hi, Detective Tudor with SAPD Homicide.
Okay.
I was trying to see if I could. Do you live at 718?
Yes.
I'm trying to find. Sorry to startle you. I'm trying to find a Julie.
Julia?
Yeah.
Let me see if she's here. I'm not sure if she's here. I'll be right back.
What was her name?
Noelle? So she's not here right now. She actually went out with her homie.
Who's that?
I don't know. Just some guy picked her up earlier, like a couple hours ago, you know?
You don't know his name?
No. She chills with a lot of people. I don't know. I don't really talk to her.
Has a girl named Jade ever been staying here?
No, she comes over, you know, like, not like recently, but that's like one of Julia's friends. That's all I know. You know what I mean? I don't talk to none of them, or, you know what I mean?
Okay.
It's like,
Was Jade ever staying here?
Not that I could say, like, that she was, like, staying here, you know, like, yeah, like, she stayed the night, you know, a couple times, whatever, you know?
Yeah.
But, like, not like that, like, she, like lived here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when they call, Julia refuses to meet in person. The refusal shocks investigators.
I meet you and talk to you in person?
I cannot right now. You're really throwing me off. What is this about?
It's what I just said. It's a murder investigation, and I need to speak with you about it.
You're speaking to me right now.
I need to speak with you in person.
If you need to talk to me, you can contact my attorney.
Excuse me?
Why don't you want?
Why do I need to talk to your attorney?
I don't know. This is crazy.
Well, Julie, I need to talk to you.
Okay, my attorney's number is...
You realize that I don't need to speak to your attorney.
I talked to him, and he said if you want to talk to me, you can talk to him.
You've already talked to your attorney?
I mean, he told me to not talk to anybody ever. He told me I'm not talking to the detective about anything.
So you talked to him today, and he said that for me to call him?
No, I don't know. I'm just saying if you want to talk to me, you need to contact my attorney.
Why would Jade's closest friend lawyer up before even answering a single question? Was she protecting herself or protecting someone else? At 8:15 a.m., crime scene tape flutters in the damp morning air as forensics arrive. The road is blocked off, the suitcase zips shut again, and a white tent goes up over Jade's body. The storm has washed much of the evidence away, but investigators know they have to salvage every detail left behind. Detectives crouch near the pavement. They see the spent shell casings glinting faintly in the grass. The placement tells a story. The shooter stood close, just feet away, when the first round hit. Her torn shirt and bruised arms suggest a struggle, not a random execution. She fought back, but the suitcase nearby hints at something else. She was leaving someone. Whatever happened here, it was sudden, emotional, and personal. Photographers move in. Every angle is captured. The position of Jade's body, the phone clenched in her hand, the trail of scattered belongings.
She's got her phone in her hand.
Investigators note that the phone might hold the key. If she was still gripping it at death, perhaps she was calling or texting when she was attacked. Officers search the immediate area. Trash bins, tall grass, the shallow creek nearby. No weapon, no footprints preserved in the mud. But then one detail jolts them. A cell phone found just feet from the body, one that doesn't belong to Jade. It's cracked, weathered from the rain, but still powered. That phone, they realize, could be the thread that pulls the entire case together. The coroner wheels Jade's body into the van. Detectives linger, replaying the scene in their minds. The struggle, the close-range shots, the suitcase, and now a second phone tying someone else to this lonely stretch of road. Who did Jade meet here in the dead of night? Who was desperate enough to silence her, then careless enough to leave their phone behind? Investigators swarm the evidence, knowing this single item could decide the direction of the entire case. Phones rarely lie. They capture everything: calls, texts, locations, even the last desperate moments before someone pulls a trigger. If the killer dropped it here, then this isn't just a clue. It's a signature left in plain sight. The phone is bagged and rushed back to headquarters. Detectives can only speculate. Was it dropped in panic? Was it Jade's killer, careless in the aftermath? Or was it someone close to her, hiding in plain sight? One thing is certain: whoever owned that device was standing over Jade when the bullets tore her life away. Then at 1 p.m., detectives regroup at headquarters. The cracked phone recovered at the scene is logged into evidence. Within hours, tech analysts start combing through it. Contacts, recent calls, and messages paint a troubling picture. The phone belongs to Adam Bird, a known felon with a history of violence. Investigators return to Julia Castillo's home. She again resists cooperation, speaking through curt replies and shielding herself behind her attorney. Her evasiveness only deepens suspicion. But her mother, Alice, pressed by detectives, admits the truth.
What can I help you with?
Sorry to scare you. I tried to talk to...
What can I help you with? Trusting me out.
Okay, well, I called your daughter. I'm trying to talk to her.
Okay.
Okay,
She already told you to talk to her attorney, right?
Okay, can I talk to you?
What do you need?
Okay, I'm investigating a homicide involving a person that stayed here.
Tell me it's not Jade.
Yes, it is. And that's why I need to talk to her.
She died?
She was murdered. Is it making sense right now? I'm not trying to be a jerk, but I need to know what happened to her, and I know that she was staying here.
I kicked her out 2 weeks ago because she brought a man in my house.
What's in the car?
No, I wouldn't say that.
All right.
She was a good
How long
girl.
did she stay here?
She stayed here for about a month.
Okay. Is this your house?
This is my house. She got kicked out by her dad. Her dad was very at her house
with her grandma.
She was a very abusive man. When she left 2 weeks ago, she left with that guy.
Did they have a car?
Oh,
like a car?
They were walking. They were like with backpacks, like homeless people down the street. He looked horrific. They both looked horrific that day when I opened the door.
Was she using? Like, what was she doing?
I think she was like doing like Xanax and stuff.
Yeah.
He looked scary.
Like, what did he look like?
He was skinny, tall, real light, and then he wanted to cut my grass.
Jade had been staying there after a fight with her father, until she was kicked out 2 weeks earlier. The last time Alice saw Jade, she wasn't alone. She was walking away with a tall, thin man Alice describes as scary. On the next day, detectives bring Julia back in, this time under formal questioning.
I don't know much about Jade. I'm trying to get as much info about her and what was going on with her life leading up to when we found her. So whatever you're comfortable with telling me, I'll just let you just talk to me. I guess, when did she move out?
She moved out like 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago, because my mom found her with some guy in my room when I wasn't there.
Okay.
And then that was it. I left, and then she had been with that guy in the streets. She had nowhere to go. So
was he homeless?
Yeah, kind of. Like, they were just
walking.
Had you ever
seen him before?
I had seen him before because of her.
Okay.
At first, she denies knowing the man. She shrugs, stammers, says Jade hung out with a lot of people.
I'm completely understanding that your house, your rules. I am truly sorry for stepping over boundaries. I just wanted to say thank you for taking care of me for the rough time I had and go through this past month. I'll be by to pick up the rest of my clothes tomorrow. Thank you. I will get...
Was the cousin?
The cousin of my daughter's friend, I think. Not her friend, the cousin. I'll call my daughter up, find out what's going on.
I don't have a boyfriend.
Why would she say that?
I have a friend. And
Who is
that's
this friend?
who she was hanging out with.
The
guy that she's referring to, his name was Adam.
Adam what?
I don't know his last name. That's why I don't
But
know.
who is the?
He was just my friend that I would hang out with. That was it. And
Do we both agree that it sounds like we know who she was hanging out with?
Mm-hmm.
But when confronted with photos, her guard slips. She finally admits the man Jade left with was her friend Adam.
I know you're probably scared, and I don't know if there's somebody you're worried that someone's coming after you, or you guys know something, but I feel like you at least know who she's leaving with from the house.
His name was Adam.
Does he have social media?
No. No. He doesn't.
What's Adam look like?
He's tall, he's white, very tall, very scrawny, like streetwalker. Looks like he goes from store to store, sleeps under there. I don't know.
What'd she see with him?
I don't know. That's what the thing is. I don't know. She just like longed for him. Like, I don't know. They were walking with all their stuff. He had all his stuff. She had all her stuff. And he was carrying all the bags.
Do you know, was he like making her like, was he doing anything to like kind of like, hey,
really?
like try to get money, like, hey, sleep with, anything like crazy like that?
No, like he just seemed like he had morals and like, he just seemed like he was gonna protect her. And I think that's what she thought was gonna happen. Like, she just felt safe with him. And then I don't know what happened.
Adam Bird, the same name tied to the phone at the murder scene. Background checks confirm what detectives already feared.
This is important. What ended up happening? Did she split with this guy? What can you tell me?
She wanted to go with him.
Did he come showing up?
She wanted to go. No, I didn't see him anywhere.
What was she saying?
She wanted to go.
Are you scared of this guy? It's okay to be, there's dangerous people all over the place, and it's okay to be scared, and I can tell you know more about this guy than what you...
I really don't know him.
The night before, what was she saying? What can you tell me about the night before?
She was with me. We were with my sister, we were drinking.
Where were you guys drinking?
My sister's house.
Did you guys go anywhere?
The Lincoln Courts.
Okay. Did you guys go anywhere, or just stay there?
After that, we left her house. I left my sister's house.
Okay.
With her.
With
Jade.
With Jade. So you left with Jade. Mm-hmm. Where did you guys go?
Went to the store, and I met someone there.
Okay.
It was a new person. We had nobody to hang out with, right?
Okay.
And then she said, I'm gonna call him. And I said, okay, call him. She calls him. He's like,
calls who?
Adam.
Okay. And this is at 10:30 at night.
Yes.
Okay. And where do you remember vaguely when you're driving back? Where are you driving back to when she's calling?
Towards my house.
Okay.
That's my area, so I just go towards that area, and then from there we find out what we're gonna do.
Okay.
So we go. She's like, oh, he said to go. He said to drop me off. I'm like, where? She says, Capitol.
Okay.
Capitol. That street.
Julia, this is huge. Yes. This guy, do you recognize this person?
Is that him? Is that him?
This is who you're telling me. This is who I believe this person is.
That's Matthew.
Yeah.
Right?
That's who I believe it is.
I think it is too.
Okay. I'm going to show you one more photo. Do you recognize this person?
Yes.
Who is this?
That's Adam.
Okay. Adam isn't just a drifter. His record stretches back years. Aggravated assault, drug charges, gun violations, even terroristic threats. And just 5 days before Jade's murder, he was wanted for an armed robbery at a corner store. Now the puzzle begins to take shape. Jade was last seen alive with Adam. His phone was found next to her body, and the gun from that robbery could very well be the same weapon that ended her life. With the pieces falling into place, detectives shift the focus from Jade's circle of friends to the man at the center of her final hours. Every trail, every conversation, every lead now points to one name: Adam Bird. Detectives close in on Adam Bird at a friend's house. He doesn't resist. He knows why they're there, even if the officers only mention the armed robbery that put him on their radar. Inside the interrogation room, they start with the robbery, the clerk, the gun, the stolen cash. Adam admits it without much hesitation.
And once I raised a
I just told him I needed everything.
And what'd you have with you? The knife?
Believe it or not, it was one of those fake Glocks, like the BB pistol ones. You know the ones that sound metal?
Yeah. No real bullets?
No.
Just, was it even loaded with the BBs?
No. I didn't even have an air tank in it.
You no air tank, no nothing?
No.
Okay. So just, what did you do? You just pointed at them and asked for like, give me everything?
Yeah.
How was that? How much money did they give you?
$100-something.
Not much. Nobody got hurt, right?
Yeah.
You didn't fire off any rounds or anything like that?
What do you mean fire off a round?
No, like there was, like I'm telling you, you didn't fire rounds, you didn't fire the BB gun, you didn't hurt nobody.
No.
Yeah, you just took the money.
Yeah.
Took off on kind.
But the real reason he's sitting there hasn't even been mentioned yet. A second detective walks in, shifting the conversation.
To get this straight, you want to talk to me about a murder investigation. I'm wanting to talk to you, okay? Are you okay? I know this isn't normal to have someone come out and tell you that, okay? But I'm wanting to speak with you and explain to you about a murder, okay?
A murder?
Yes.
He slides a laptop across the table and plays body cam footage.
This is the last time that this girl's ever on police body cam, okay? I just want you to hear some of the things she's saying, okay?
So whose house is this?
This is my friend.
Okay, so you don't.
My best friend.
You don't like live here full time. You just had to come here because.
This is like I had just got out of jail. She's like, hey, you can stay here. I said, I don't know where I'm going. I'm probably have to sleep at Haven for home. She goes, you're not gonna sleep at Haven for home. Like you're crazy. Like you're my best friend. You can sleep right here. Even if it's on the floor, I'll be your blanket.
It feels like your life has been like turned upside down since Friday.
And my 3-year-old son's there.
Oh my god.
And like so, you know, it's just like it's not like, but he's what I live for. How long he has. He doesn't have a dad. He's incarcerated. Just got locked up. I thought I was gonna do time, but thank God I didn't. So I'm just thanking God. You know, I love life right now. And I'm out. You know.
You hear that? She loves life. She's got a kid. Listen. Look at me.
Where's my baby?
Listen to me. There's no babies. Look at me. That's the last time this girl is
That's
alive.
my baby.
Ooh.
The baby. Where is she?
Jade?
Where is she at?
Look at me.
Look at me.
No, I told you what I'm here for.
Where is she?
She's dead. Okay? And I need to know what happened to her.
How long ago? How long ago?
Recent. Real recent.
God.
Jade alive, nervous but hopeful, talking about her son and her plans to get her life back. Adam, we need to talk about Jade Alvarez, the detective says quietly. Adam's demeanor changes instantly. His hands start shaking.
The last time you said you spoke with her, when did you say it was?
I don't know, man.
You don't know? Do you remember the last time you saw her?
No. It was like she was supposed to pull up to this one dude's house that we would always chill at, and he, like, my last girlfriend, we would always go there and like chill in the back house.
Okay.
But
is that, like, what area are we talking?
Right there on Beacon Hill.
Beacon Hill?
Yeah.
Okay.
But then I ended up just leaving, you know.
But when was the last time you saw her?
I've seen her like every day, every other day.
Where was she staying if she wasn't with you?
I don't know. I'd always just leave her.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure she was staying at her friend's house.
Her name's Julia. Is that the one you're thinking?
Yeah, I think so.
want to show you one more video.
Man, please, I don't.
I'm not showing you anything gruesome, but it's a video that I want to show you. Okay. Do you remember her?
1210.
No. No. You never seen her?
Hello, Alice. This is Jade. I'm truly sorry for what I have done to disrupt the peace in your home. I truly mean that from the bottom of my heart. I'm very sorry. I just want you to know, if you give me a second chance, it will never happen again. You have my word. I also have the rent money. When it's due, if you allow me a second chance, please, I'm begging you.
Just listen to what she says, okay?
Okay, I'll get my things and move around. I'm very sorry at making you feel this way. I didn't mean to. I just thought since Julia had her BFF boyfriend over that I could too. And was her boyfriend cousin. And all we did was smoke. But I'm completely understanding that your house, your rules. I am truly sorry for stepping over boundaries. I just wanted to say thank you for taking care of me for the...
So she's texting that lady after she basically got kicked out of the house, okay? You alright? I feel like your mind's racing a mile a minute. All I'm trying to figure out is what happened to Jade.
I don't know, I'd always leave.
You'd always leave?
Yeah.
When did you see her last? Do you know what date it is right now?
No, I don't.
It's the 12th. So tomorrow is the 13th. Tomorrow's 1 week. 1 week, look at me. 1 week since we found Jade. She was killed Thursday, April 6th. We're meeting each other not by chance, okay? So she's describing that she kicked Jade out of that house on Hollywood because you were there hanging out with Jade. Jade said she was sorry, she thought it was okay to have you over because Julia had Matt over. How do you know Matt?
I don't.
Just through the streets, or does he sell bars? Does he?
No.
How did you? Because she said that you guys are like referred to each other as his cousins.
I did it, he blurts out, his voice barely above a whisper. I did it with that same gun that you see me in the photo with the robbery. That's the gun that killed Jade.
I did it. I did it.
You did what? Look at me. What did you do?
I did it.
What did you do? Look at me. This is it. Talk to me.
With that same gun that you see me in the photo with the robbery?
Okay.
That's the gun that killed Jade. I did it.
Why? Look at me, dude.
Can I go to jail now?
Listen.
Please?
Let's keep talking. We need
No.
Jade, listen, look at me. Jade's family deserves it.
No.
And you are gonna know, and it's gonna eat you alive. You need to talk to me why this happened. You just said the gun used in that robbery was the gun used to kill her.
Yeah.
But what happened? What did she do? You have the answer. I wasn't there. You know what happened. Let's talk about it.
I don't want to talk about nothing. I'm tired.
The room falls silent. After just 17 minutes of questioning, Adam Bird has confessed to murder. She didn't want to have my baby, man, he continues.
What got you to the point to pull a gun on her?
Man, she just didn't want to have my baby, man. And it was just like a crime of passion or something. Like, she didn't, it was like she wasn't trying to have my baby.
You wanted to have a kid?
Yeah.
You wanted to have...
I don't have any children, man.
Okay. You wanted to have a kid with her, and she
just kept on telling me to punch her in the stomach. She just kept on drinking and taking drugs. And...
Tears streaming down his face. I don't have any children, man. I've been wanting children forever. The detective leans forward. What happened that night, Adam? It was just like a crime of passion, Adam says, his voice breaking. She just kept on telling me to punch her in the stomach. I wanted her to have my baby and she didn't want to. The confession is on record. For investigators, the truth is finally out. For Jade's family, it's the beginning of a different kind of pain. The wait for justice. Adam Bird never went to trial. Instead, he took a plea deal.
Today, I follow your plea agreement and assess your punishment at 40 years.
On paper, it was straightforward. 40 years for murder, 2 15-year terms for aggravated robbery, and a smaller sentence for drug possession. The catch? All of it runs concurrently. In practice, that means Bird will be eligible for parole after serving just half, 20 years. For Jade's family, that revelation felt like betrayal. In court on March the 24th, 2025, her grandmother Rita Camacho delivered a victim impact statement that cut through the silence.
40 years may be the punishment that was handed down, but to us it's a slap in the face. It could never truly reflect the magnitude of our loss.
40 years may be the punishment that was handed down, but to us it's a slap in the face. It could never truly reflect the magnitude of our loss. Rita also spoke about Jade's son. Her son was left without a mother and wants to take flowers to Mama every week.
Her son was left without a mother and wants to take flowers to Mama every week. We will continue to honor Jade's memory, and we hope that during your time of incarceration, you will reflect on the devastating consequences of your actions.
They watched a man who stole Jade's future walk away with a sentence that, to them, seemed softer than the truth deserved. Jade was 22, a daughter, a sister, a mother to a little boy who will grow up without her. The courtroom doors closed, but the questions lingered. How does 40 years measure a life stolen? How does parole erase the screams of a family who had to be told their daughter was gone? For the court, the case is over. Adam Bird is locked away, serving a 40-year sentence that could be cut in half by parole. But for Jade's family, the wound never closes. Her son, Jeremiah Rodriguez, is growing up without his mother. He'll only know her through photographs, stories, and the aching silence she left behind. Alice Castillo, who opened her home to Jade, still remembers the moment the body cam captured, when her world shattered at the words, "She died. She was murdered." That memory will never fade. Jade was more than a victim on the roadside. She was a young woman fighting to rebuild her life, dreaming of school, determined to be there for her child. Her future was stolen because one man decided his obsession mattered more than her choice. And so the questions linger, heavy and unanswerable. What drives someone to kill the very person they claim to love? How does a justice system weigh a human life in years on paper? And for Jade's son, what will it mean to grow up knowing his mother was taken not by chance, but by choice? The answers may never come. But the story of Jade Alvarez will always stand as a reminder. Behind every case file is a family still living the sentence.
I feel like someone put something upon my house or me or something. Like, I just don't feel right. I don't do this. I love my kids.
The chilling words belong to 32-year-old Tiffany Lucas. Moments before police uncovered the unimaginable inside her home.
Fuller County 911, Dispatcher Coots, what is the address of your emergency?
Hello? My wife's on the phone. The kid, I just went there at our neighbor's house. The kid, he's on the bed. He's all bloody.
There's a kid on the bed all bloody?
Yeah, in the neighbor's house. She told us that he's okay. He's breathing. So he's okay. He's good.
So, 233?
Yes. It's okay, buddy. You okay? I don't know. He's pretty sick. There's blood all over the bed. There's a gun. Okay, there's two of them. They're both here. They're breathing.
There's two children?
Yes, ma'am. You all right, buddy?
Is he awake?
He's responsive. He's breathing now.
Inside, the chaos was overwhelming. 6-year-old Morris lay motionless on a bed, his tiny chest heaving through blood-soaked clothes. 9-year-old Jaden was beside him, barely clinging to life.
Get on that chest. Can do that. There you go. Where's...
Getting your work on stuff, buddy.
Where's the tooth?
Pause compression.
Are you still breathing?
Okay. Needle.
4 shell casings scattered across sheets that looked like they belonged to a crime scene, not a child's bedroom.
Fired at least 3 that I can see, but 4.
Yeah, it looks like both of them had
Several.
one had a double tap.
Okay.
The one I had only seen one looked like it went in the back and out the front.
Okay, well, there's 4 shots for sure that I can see.
For officers, the puzzle seemed simple at first. Maybe a burglary gone wrong, a violent intruder who slipped in unnoticed. But then a neighbor stepped forward with a memory from the night before.
So yesterday, maybe it was about 3:15, 3 o'clock-ish. Can't tell you exactly. And I'm sitting in the garage just hanging out. I have a TV and I see the shadow because my truck I parked it usually on the right side of the driveway. And I'm like, well, who's that? But I couldn't see because he was in the way. And she came from the side of my truck. She's like, hello. And I'm like, hey, literally like, hey, what's going on? She's like, can I borrow your phone? My phone's not working. And I said, absolutely. And she said, I just need my neighbors.
Those strange behaviors painted a darker picture. Tiffany wasn't just a grieving mother. She was the common thread in every story, every witness statement, every detail that made less and less sense.
Alright, step off the side of the truck.
Step back off. You're going to get back in my car.
And when officers finally placed her in the back of a cruiser, they noticed the disturbing truth. She wasn't asking about her children. She wasn't panicking or begging for updates. She just sat there, detached, mumbling about Wi-Fi signals and voices in her head. What happened inside that house was not the work of a stranger. It was the unraveling of a paranoid mother whose grip on reality had slipped so far that even her own children weren't safe. It was just after 11 a.m. on Wednesday, November 8, 2023, when Bullitt County dispatchers answered the frantic call from Shepherdsville.
County 911, where's your emergency?
My neighbor just came up to my door and just passed out, and I can't get her to wake up. She just started screaming that her kids are dying. 502-689. She is coming in and out of consciousness. She's laying in my driveway right now. I'm with her.
Who was that was screaming?
Her.
Okay, what's your name?
My husband is going in there. My name is Sarah.
A neighbor reported a young mother had collapsed in their driveway, incoherent and begging for help, saying her children were dying. When deputies and EMS arrived, the scene was chaotic. Tiffany Lucas lay slumped on the pavement, half conscious, mumbling about not feeling right.
She conscious? She conscious? Yeah. Ma'am, what's your name? Huh?
Tiffany.
I can't hear you.
Tiffany.
Tiffany? All right, Tiffany, I'm going to change these handcuffs out, okay? And then I'm going to roll you over and I'm going to sit you up, all right? Take this leg, fold it in, make that foot touch your knee. Roll to the side, on the ground. Now, we're going to roll again this way and I'm going to assist you up on your feet, okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Have you taken anything? Have you been drinking? Then why can't you stand up? You just don't feel like it, huh?
I said I don't feel right.
Don't feel right? Okay.
About her mind being manipulated. Her words made little sense, but what officers found inside her home did. The first responders pushed through the clutter and disorder of the bedroom, where 2 boys, Jaden, age 9, and Morris, age 6, lay side by side on the bed. Both had been shot multiple times at close range. Their tiny chests struggled with shallow breaths, blood pooling beneath them, while shell casings glinted under the dim light. It was clear this wasn't a random attack.
Inspector.
Right outside the door.
There were no broken windows, no forced doors, no missing valuables. And the gun, still warm, was tucked beneath the pillows where the boys slept. Whoever had pulled the trigger hadn't come from outside. Back outside, neighbors tried to explain the mother's bizarre behavior in the hours leading up to the shootings. One man recalled her wandering over in the middle of the night, borrowing his phone, calling random numbers that never answered.
And she's like, well, I need to use your phone. I said, okay. I can tell you the number. She called 2 numbers from my phone. No, none of the numbers seemed like answered, but she then handed me my phone back. So then she said, thank you. Turned around, started walking away, and I'm like, right at the end of my driveway, I looked up, literally like looked up in the sky, and maybe thought when I said, I don't know, and then just went, sat in her yard. And me and Mickey looked at each other. I said, Mickey, get Dee Dee to go over there and talk to her. I kind of let the lady try to see if the ladies could handle that situation, or like being female. So she seemed okay, but I thought something was off. I felt like something was clearly off.
Another described her sitting in her yard afterward, staring blankly at the sky as if she was listening to something no one else could hear. To the deputies, it looked less like a home invasion and more like a psychotic break. And standing at the center of it all was the boy's own mother, rambling about Wi-Fi, PlayStation games, and a mysterious man she claimed was controlling her mind.
Earlier you said something about PlayStation games or something?
Yeah.
What about it?
It's like those games manipulate the children, the YouTube, and just, haven't you ever heard anything like that before?
I mean, yeah.
Like, I really feel like it is manipulating for the children, and they get into the children's homes and, break the families up. That's what I feel.
I mean, you could be right.
I am right.
Yeah.
I know I'm right.
Yeah.
And you do too.
Yeah.
You do.
I mean,
you just know.
The stuff that's on the internet that you have access to now is terrible.
It's terrible for the kids, and they need to stop. Like, my kids are beautiful angels, you know? And
well, you said something about the PlayStation and YouTube and all that, which makes sense and I understand.
I feel like someone tried to manipulate me through my phone, manipulate me through my house, doing stuff to me.
What are they doing to you?
Manipulating my mind. Parker Borders. His name is Parker Borders.
What about him?
He lives in Bardstown, and I'm pretty sure he's been manipulating my mind for like 3 years.
That morning in Shepherdsville, tragedy wasn't delivered by a stranger lurking in the dark. It was delivered from inside the house, by the very person sworn to protect them. Inside the Lucas home, the air was thick with the stench of blood and disarray. The bedroom where the boys lay told a story no mother should ever write. Clothes and trash were scattered across the floor, the walls marked by grime, and the bedsheets soaked through with red. On the mattress, 4 shell casings sat in plain sight, positioned near the pillows like silent witnesses to the violence. The positioning was crucial. Investigators noted that the boys were likely shot while sleeping or just waking. The attack swift and deliberate. There were no defensive wounds, no signs of a struggle. The evidence suggested they never even had a chance to move. Both Jaden and Morris clung to life, their small bodies barely responding as paramedics worked frantically. But the room itself told detectives that the odds were against them. The rest of the house offered no clues of a break-in. Windows were locked. The doors were intact. There were no footprints or pry marks. Nothing to suggest an outsider had entered. The weapon was registered to no one inside the household, but bore fresh fingerprints, all belonging to Tiffany Lucas. Meanwhile, outside the crime scene tape, neighbors huddled together, shaken by what they had witnessed that morning.
Pat her down real quick while I wander. That's fine. She's locked in there, though.
One recalled Lucas appearing at his garage just hours before, asking to borrow his phone. She dialed 2 numbers in silence, no answers, before walking off and staring up at the sky. Another neighbor recounted how she collapsed in his driveway, screaming about her kids dying, but not making sense of how or why. For detectives, the pieces of the puzzle started to align. There was no intruder, No unknown suspect fleeing into the woods. The threat came from within. And the woman responsible was already in their custody, strapped into the back of a patrol car, mumbling that someone had put something upon her house and that she didn't feel right. Her strange detachment was impossible to ignore. Most mothers in her position would be hysterical, begging medics to save their children, demanding answers from police. But Tiffany remained distant, almost absent, muttering about video games, YouTube, and shadowy figures manipulating her mind through Wi-Fi.
No, I seem ugly, but I'm not. I feel like I've been manipulated. The game systems and everything, been manipulating my children, manipulating my mind.
Really is?
All them game systems and, you know, just everything.
The games, you said?
Yeah, like PlayStations, all the games that the kids play.
Yeah.
It manipulates their mind and it makes it to your mind.
The crime scene was secured, the boys were rushed to the hospital, and suspicion had shifted fully to their mother. The next step was clear. Investigators needed to sit her down, look her in the eye, and ask the question no one wanted to say out loud. Did you shoot your children?
How did your sons get shot then, huh?
I just don't know.
You don't know?
I have no word.
But do you think it was an accident today, or did you mean to shoot?
Detectives needed answers, and fast. At the sheriff's office, Lucas was barely coherent. She wavered between paranoia and indifference, slumping over one moment and then snapping into nervous chatter the next.
Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Come on up. Sit up, sit up, sit up, sit up, sit up. You alright? Sit up, sit up, sit up.
What's going on?
Just sit up, sit still. Take a deep breath.
Just stop.
Stop.
Move your fingers.
That's me.
I'm watching you on camera. Move your fingers.
You're watching
Several
me?
times. Yeah.
Move my fingers how?
Every time, go. You keep moving them. Stop.
You mean changing my hand positions and
Yeah.
stuff? That's just me.
No, you're doing it. Boo, 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 boo. Don't do that.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, you are. I'm watching.
So what is that doing for you?
It's not right. Stop.
What's not right?
You.
When a deputy waved a metal detector across her, she calmly stated, "I shot myself in the ear."
Just the handcuffs. Yep. They're just picking up the handcuffs and ankle bracelet. Okay. You got a necklace on? Earrings?
I shot myself.
Huh?
I shot myself in the head.
You what?
Shot myself in my ear.
You shot yourself in the ear? What's here?
This one.
I don't see anything.
Medics rushed to check, but there was nothing. No wound, no blood, no evidence she had harmed herself at all. Her words were a window into a mind unraveling. She spoke of video games corrupting children, of YouTube manipulating families, of Wi-Fi signals and cell phones warping her thoughts. When asked to explain, she said, "I'm a woman of God. I love my boys. I would never hurt them. But someone put something on my house. Someone's manipulating me."
I feel like someone tried to manipulate me through my phone, manipulate me through my house, doing stuff to me.
What are they doing to you?
Manipulating my mind.
Really?
Through my phone, putting up things in my house, like real evil, dark, weird stuff, like trying to...
Like trying to get you to do things?
Yeah, like alter my mind, like completely like flip me, like I'm a woman of God, I don't do...
Yeah.
You don't hurt your children, you protect them, and I feel like I had to to protect my children.
Right.
The more she spoke, the stranger her story became. She named a man, Parker Borders, claiming he had been controlling her for years, implanting thoughts in her head, even giving her the gun that killed her children. She insisted Parker was behind everything, even suggesting he had been tied to the mysterious death of a friend in a car crash years earlier.
He actually tell you in person?
No,
or is it...
but he controls my phone, all my bills are in his name, like has too much access to me,
Right.
you know?
Right.
So I feel like he manipulated my mind, you know? I would never hurt my children.
Who is this Parker guy to you? Just a friend, or?
Like a sugar daddy type thing. I feel like it was portrayed off of revenge or something like that.
Right.
Before, I had a friend who was with him, and she mysteriously passed away in a car wreck. And then now, in my house, you'll see there's like things like my car is gonna get blown up, all these weird little, like how stuff is all set up funny, you know, in my house like that. So I just feel uncomfortable. I don't know. I feel like it's him. It's not me. It's not me. I'm right with God, so I know it's not me. I know. It's not in my mind.
Yeah.
It's not me. It just isn't.
Provide you with a firearm, with a gun?
Yes, it was his.
So that gun that was, I guess, in the house, in the bedroom or whatever, that's his gun?
Yes.
Why did he give it to you?
I don't know.
How long ago did he give it to you? You remember? Like years, months, days? When?
I don't know.
But when investigators searched for Parker Borders, they found nothing. No records, no ties, no living person by that name connected to Lucas. The friend she claimed had died in a car crash didn't exist either. To detectives, it was clear these weren't real people. They were fabrications of a paranoid, deteriorating mind. Minutes stretched on in silence. Then, in a whisper, she muttered that if it happened, maybe it was an accident. She quickly shut down again, refusing to say more. Meanwhile, the physical evidence told a different story. Fingerprint analysis showed her prints, and only hers, on the weapon. 4 shell casings were recovered from the blood-soaked bed. There was no forced entry, no stolen valuables, no evidence of anyone else inside the house. Every path pointed back to Tiffany Lucas. Digging into her past, detectives found a troubling history. In 2016, she briefly ran a business, but it collapsed into bankruptcy within a year. By 2018, she had lost custody of her children because of heavy drug use. In 2019, her husband was murdered in a still unsolved case. And for the last decade, she had battled opioid addiction, escalating to fentanyl. Just 10 days before the shootings, she had reportedly stopped using, a withdrawal that left her paranoid and unstable. Neighbors later confirmed they had seen her spiral. She had told friends she was being watched, stalked, and targeted by traffickers. She begged for help but never sought treatment. For detectives, the picture was finally clear. This wasn't a story of Wi-Fi mind control or shadowy strangers. It was the story of a mother in the grip of paranoia, psychosis, and addiction. And in that haze, she turned a gun on the very children she claimed she was trying to protect. By the time the case reached court, the evidence against Tiffany Lucas was overwhelming. The shell casings matched the weapon found under her own pillow. Her fingerprints were the only ones on the gun. Neighbors testified to her bizarre behavior in the days leading up to the murders, and detectives replayed the interrogation footage. Her rambling about Wi-Fi, video games, and unseen forces manipulating her every thought. Her defense team floated the idea of an insanity plea, arguing that she was delusional, paranoid, and incapable of understanding her actions. They pointed to her long history of addiction, nearly a decade of opioid abuse that had spiraled into fentanyl use, and claimed she was suffering drug-induced psychosis after trying to detox. She wasn't evil, they argued. She was broken. But prosecutors painted a different picture. They described a mother unraveling under paranoia, convinced her family was being stalked, her home infiltrated, her children targeted. They showed the jury that instead of seeking help, she loaded a gun, walked into her children's bedroom, and pulled the trigger, again and again. Whatever her reasons, whatever voices she thought she heard, the result was the same: 2 young lives taken by the one person they trusted most. On October 23, 2024, Lucas stunned the courtroom by entering a guilty plea to 2 counts of murder.
Are you under the influence of alcohol or any other type of drug?
No, sir.
You understand what's happening in court at this time?
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, the indictment in this case charges in count 1, on or about the 8th day of November of 2023 in Bullitt County, Kentucky. The above-named defendant, Tiffany Lucas, committed the offense of capital murder when she intentionally caused the death of J.H. by shooting him with a gun. Count 2 charges that on or about the 8th day of November of 2023 in Bullitt County, the above defendant, Tiffany A. Lucas, committed the offense of capital murder when she intentionally caused the death of M.B. by shooting him with a gun. Now, ma'am, do you admit that you are the person named in that indictment?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand the facts that you are charged with in that indictment?
Yes, sir.
Has your attorney explained to you the nature of the charges against you, their penalty, and any possible defense that you might have?
Yes, sir.
It wasn't a negotiated deal. It was an open plea, leaving the decision entirely in the hands of the judge. 1 month later, on November 22, 2024, the verdict came down.
The court will adjudge the defendant guilty of the offense of murder and fix her sentence at life in prison.
The judge sentenced Lucas to 2 consecutive life terms in prison with no chance of parole. As the sentence was read aloud, the courtroom erupted in applause. Family members of Jaden and Morris wept openly.
You took him from me, and I hurt every day. Every second of the day, I hurt.
Often see these court shows where the defendants are forgiven by the victim's family, but not today, not by me. I will never forgive you.
Some shouting at Lucas, others thanking the court for finally delivering justice. Lucas sat motionless, her eyes empty, as if she still couldn't accept the reality of what she had done. The same detachment she showed in her driveway, in the back of the cruiser, in the interrogation room, it followed her all the way to sentencing. The case was closed. The community of Shepherdsville would never forget the day 2 little boys were silenced in their own home, and the chilling words their mother spoke before it all unraveled. "I don't feel right. I don't do this. I don't care." The case of Tiffany Lucas will forever stand as one of the most haunting tragedies in Shepherdsville, Kentucky. What began as a chaotic 911 call quickly unfolded into a story of paranoia, delusion, and unimaginable betrayal, a mother turning on her own children. From the start, investigators faced a puzzle that seemed almost too bizarre to believe. Tiffany insisted she was manipulated by phones, Wi-Fi, and video games. She pointed to a man who didn't exist, accused technology of twisting her mind, and spoke of shadowy forces trying to flip her. But the hard evidence cut through the fog. Her fingerprints on the gun, the weapon hidden under her pillow. No signs of intrusion, no second suspect. Her past only deepened the tragedy. Years of opioid abuse, a family history marked by loss, a husband's murder that remains unsolved. Friends and neighbors who had seen her slip into paranoia but didn't realize just how dangerous her unraveling had become. All of it leading to one November morning where 2 young boys, Jaden, age 9, and Morris, age 6, paid the ultimate price. In court, her defense team tried to frame her as a woman undone by addiction and psychosis, someone who didn't understand her actions. But for the families of Jaden and Maurice, the damage was beyond explanation. Their final moments were spent not in safety, not in love, but in terror, at the hands of the one person they trusted most. When Lucas pled guilty to 2 counts of murder and received 2 consecutive life sentences with no parole, the courtroom erupted in applause. It wasn't a celebration, it was a relief. Relief that justice, however imperfect, had been delivered. Relief that the lives of 2 children were recognized in the eyes of the law. But no sentence, no verdict, no judge's ruling can erase the reality of what happened. 2 boys with bright futures are gone, a community is left scarred, and the image of a mother, blank-faced and rambling about voices and manipulation, sits as a chilling reminder of how fragile the line is between paranoia and violence. For many, the Lucas case is a cautionary tale, not only about the dangers of untreated addiction and mental illness, but about how quickly delusion can twist into tragedy. And for the family left behind, the wound is one that no court or conviction will ever truly heal. 2 young boys silenced, a mother consumed by her own demons, and a community left to ask the same haunting question over and over. How could this happen?
Put your hands up, do it now! Both hands! Keep your hands on your head! If they come off your head, may be shot. Do you understand me?
This is Wayne Maha, 76 years old, Vietnam veteran, former cop, standing on his porch while his neighbor lies motionless next door.
Sir!
Sir, are you okay?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me, sir? What do we need? Victim, suspect. So.
Is there a pulse?
No.
Husband?
Yes. Just husband.
I understand, sir. So.
Just husband, understood.
That's fine.
Is there a chair?
He says it was self-defense, but listen closely. The details keep slipping, the story keeps changing, and the part he remembers best is the shotgun. Neighbors whisper about years of threats.
What's your name?
Sandra.
Sandra, and you're Wayne's wife? Get same last name?
Yep, everything.
Okay.
My husband told me that he came up on the deck and threatened him.
And this is Vincent that came up on the deck? Did he say what Vincent said to him?
I'm going to kill him and stuff.
Okay.
He's been doing that for the last, how many years?
Okay.
His wife mentions PTSD, strokes, seizures.
I've told everybody, he has PTSD.
Okay.
He's had a stroke. He's had
Okay.
2 seizures, and I think he had another stroke.
Yet the body is found 30 feet away. Porch versus lawn. Threat versus choice.
Let me grab some personal information from you here, and I'll just talk to you real briefly. So, just kind of give me a rundown of what happened here this afternoon.
I came home just as everybody showed up, and the neighbor lady's daughter said she heard a gunshot, and I saw him over there. My husband told me that he came up on the deck and threatened him.
Split-second decision, or something set in motion a long time ago. Wayne praises the gun, admits he'd wanted to kill him for a while.
Do you remember what happened today?
Yeah, he was attacking me and I shot him.
Okay. And
can
you describe how he was attacking you?
He was trying to, the car and everything else. It was just being a pain in the ass.
Okay.
And, I was really upset. So I got my 12 gauge, which is very beautiful.
Okay.
It's a 1912.
Okay.
It's a piece of work.
Okay.
You can look down the barrel. It's a beautiful shotgun. And then he came and just attacked him.
Then drifts, guitars, columns, old cases, like the past is bleeding into the present.
When he attacked you, how did he attack you, sir?
Oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And there's my column there that I built myself. The column, you saw that column? Kind of tries to push it over, and just be an irritation, one thing after another.
Okay.
I'm a very nice guy, You guys would hang out with me, we'd play guitar, Telecaster.
Detectives try to anchor him today. He slips. They press harder. He boasts, "I'm a badass."
You've been sitting there talking about what a badass you are.
Oh, I am a badass.
Right.
Want to see a badass?
I see it.
So, man.
I see it. Come on.
So which truth holds? The fearful husband on a porch? The angry neighbor fed up after years? Or a failing mind that can't tell yesterday's war from today's argument? Was this self-defense or distance and resentment disguised as fear? If a damaged memory sees danger where there is none, who should be held responsible? And when the shooter can't fully grasp the wrongness, what does justice even look like? Blaine, Washington, Sunrise Village Mobile Home Park. Small lawns, low porches. Everyone is close enough to hear everyone else breathe. 2 doors apart live the same story told in 2 different tempers. Wayne Maha, 76, Vietnam veteran, former police officer. A man shaped by training to act fast, then slowed by time.
I'm an ex-police officer.
Okay. That's nice. I like that. Go ahead, have a step.
See how I can do that.
Yep, let's go.
PTSD, past strokes, seizures, the kind of injuries you can't see until they start speaking for you. And down the row, 66-year-old Vincent Reese lived alone, carried a history neighbors whispered about. Fights, booze, drugs, a rap sheet that made people lock doors a little earlier. The space between their homes is only a few strides, but for years it stretched into a fault line. Rocks tossed at dawn, profanity over fences, a homeless acquaintance knocking once, warning that someone was going to get killed. Sandra, the woman in the middle of it all, Wayne's wife, learned to read the day by noise level. When the voices rose, she braced for the knock.
What's the beef between Vincent and Wayne?
Wayne stands up to him and he doesn't like that. He tells him to go away.
Okay.
I go outside and he comes out on this deck. I don't know how he knows I'm out there. And he goes, "Hello, Sandra. I'm gonna watch porn." I was like, "Go away and shut up."
Wayne's stories began looping, Georgia patrol days surfacing in Washington afternoons, old muscle memory meeting new confusion. Was that a neighbor on a deck, or an intruder in a memory?
He attacks us.
Yeah.
This guy.
Okay.
I'll tell you what. 50 years ago, I was a police officer.
Okay, where at?
Americus, Georgia.
Americus, Georgia. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I remember Jimmy Carter.
Okay.
Had to go to the. I had me and a black police officer.
Okay.
Because they didn't want the black police officer. So when he pulled him over, I got out of the car and say, "Hey, here's the black police officer." And I got out. Yeah, you would not believe this. You know, it was back in those days.
Whole different world.
Oh my God, it was so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. The people on the church and Jimmy Carter's and his people wanted to come to the people that was the church.
Yeah.
And they didn't want him in there. They didn't want them in there. So it was a Sunday, and what I had to do is arrest those people and bring them over to the. It's really bad. It's terrible.
Yeah.
It's racist.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I look back to it.
Well, it was a different time back then.
Did a shouted threat happen today or 3 decades ago? To Wayne, the boundaries blurred. To Vincent, the boundaries didn't matter.
This guy is attacking us.
I see.
You know,
what's his name?
Vincent.
Vincent.
And he keeps attacking. He keeps attacking.
Yeah.
He's always attacking us. And the fact that I shot him, he's attacking us.
Yeah.
He kept coming back, loud, needling, daring someone to push back. All of it adds up. A veteran trained to move, a mind that misfiles danger, a neighbor who won't de-escalate, and a porch that feels like a last defensible line.
He just irritates us in the way.
Yeah. I see.
He has been doing this for a long time.
Yeah. What did he say after you shot him? Did he say anything or do anything afterwards?
Well, he was attacking me. He said, "You fucking," and I shot him.
And then silent?
I guess I thought so.
Oh.
But he's...
In neighborhoods like this, the law expects clean answers. Who crossed which threshold? Who held what? Who moved first? But on October 4th, those answers would live in the grey, somewhere between a porch light and a patch of grass 30 feet away. Before the gunshot, there were years of friction. Before self-defense, there was fear mixed with resentment. And before any officer said, "Scene secure," 2 stories had already collided. One written by a criminal past, the other by a damaged mind ready to act on a shadow that looked like danger. The call hits dispatch just after midday. Gunfire at Sunrise Village. Patrol sweeps the lane, counting addresses aloud. A hand jabs toward a porch, 2 doors over.
There it is. They're there. They're there. Got him. Moving on him. Put your hands up.
Wayne, get behind me.
Got it. Keep your hands up. Where's your husband?
I'm with you.
Where's your husband? Next one over?
2 over.
2 over. Okay, come to me. Come to me. Hi. Stay over here. Are they outside?
I think they went back in the house.
Okay.
And it's on the side, I think. This is the door.
2 over?
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's a guy laying on the ground.
Right here. 13, there he is. He's right there. Put your hands up. Do it now. Both hands. Keep your hands on your head. If they come off your head, maybe shot. Do you understand me? I understand that. Keep your hands on your head. You can hang up the phone. Put your hands on your head, ma'am. Got it. Hey, we have him over here. Yes, he's right there. No, he's on the ground on the other side of this. Get these guys here. Do not move. Okay, stop right there. Turn around.
Sir, I'm going to put you in handcuffs real quick so we can just all figure it out, okay? Yeah. Okay, appreciate it. Appreciate it. Wait, hands behind your back for me? Get aid.
273 Wacom, send aid in, scene secure. And what's your name, sir?
I'm Wayne.
Wayne. All right, nice to meet you, Wayne.
2 images lock in at once. Wayne on his steps, hands visible, and a body face down in the grass nearer to the next lot. Wayne complies, almost courteous. Appreciate that, he says as steel touches wrists. Like this is procedure, not aftermath. Compression cadence starts. Medics roll in. The math of the scene doesn't change. Lawn, sky, silence, and distance, roughly 30 feet from Wayne's steps to where the man lies. Distance is the first argument the crime scene makes. Self-defense prefers doorways. This one lives in the open air. They sit Wayne down. He volunteers the headline, "He attacked us." Asked how, his words slide. He was on the attack, going to do this, going to do that.
Attacked me.
Okay.
He came through our house and he was actually going to do stuff to us.
Okay.
Yeah, and I didn't feel like I was going to, so I shot.
Okay.
I got my gun.
Okay.
This is my old shotgun.
Your shotgun?
This
Okay.
old shotgun. He's attacked us more than one.
Where was he at when you shot him?
Huh?
Where was he at when you shot him?
He was over there. He was right there. He was telling me he's going to do this, he's going to do that.
Did you remember exactly what he said he was going to do?
Yeah, he didn't like us. He gives me and my wife a lot of trouble.
Okay.
And then he admires the tool that ended it. It's a 1912, beautiful shotgun. Sandra arrives mid-chaos, voice thin but steady. Years of threats, rocks at dawn, a homeless acquaintance warning someone would kill someone.
Okay.
He's come up on the deck and thrown rocks off the deck at the van, probably. I don't know what he was throwing them at.
Okay. And then, any idea what prompted Vince to come up on the porch today?
He's
okay.
crazy.
Has he done that before?
He's been he was up there one day throwing, 5 o'clock in the morning, throwing rocks off of it.
Okay.
Wayne got up and chased him off.
Okay.
He's been over bugging the people behind us at night, banging on their door.
Okay. And then did Wayne say where he was standing at when he shot?
He was there, and he just got up on the deck.
And then Vince was obviously there.
No, Vince probably ran away.
Okay, so Wayne didn't say exactly where Vince was when he shot him?
He said he was standing there. Vince was up on the deck yelling about he's going to do something to him. So he came out, and he said he shot them.
So as far as you know, he was shot on the deck. And
Yeah.
then Vince wound up over there.
She says Vincent was up on the porch when Wayne fired. The body, still cooling in the grass, disagrees. By the time the tape goes up, The scene has drawn its own map: porch, gap, grass. And a single question hanging in it. Was the danger at the threshold, or only in Wayne's mind? Detectives start where the story should be simple. Angles, distances, footprints.
You fucking asshole. Boom. They just like 12 gauge.
Okay. Where were you standing when you shot?
I was right here.
Okay. Oh, don't want you to fall. Oh, just right here. Okay.
No, I was right here.
Okay.
He was over here, and he's coming up, and he's doing all kinds of weird shit.
Gotcha. Where was he standing? Did he? You can go ahead and have a seat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
right here's good.
See, look at this.
Yeah. Nope. No, I can't have you touch anything. Oh. Go ahead.
They flag scuffs in the grass near the body, a faint heel turn on the porch, and one clean arc from Wayne's rail toward Vincent's yard. No shell casings. 12 gauge doesn't leave them. But wad and pellet spread tell their own tale. A shot launched from elevation, traveling open air, landing roughly 30 feet out. Distance isn't a suggestion, it's a measurement.
He's always attacked us. He comes in our window,
in
our bedroom, and the lights are on, so your lights are on. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't hate the guy. He just keeps attacking us.
Yeah.
He's always attacking us.
Interesting. That's odd.
If Vincent was at the door, there should be fibers, marks, blood spatter at the threshold. There isn't. Sandra repeats the porch claim, then adds context that does fit. Years of threats, a 5 a.m. rock throwing, a homeless acquaintance warning that violence was coming.
And then this guy that was here, Matt Ruff, the homeless guy, he'd come up to the door one day and asked if he had guns. And I says, I don't know why. And he goes, because he's threatened to kill you and your husband and anybody around here.
So Matt came and told you that today?
No, it was last week.
Okay, last week that Matt did
somewhere in there, because he's gone. I don't know where he went to.
Okay, do you know where Matt hangs out at?
He was staying here in his car.
Okay. And when you say Matt Ruff, are we talking like R-O-U-G-H or
R-U-F-F or something?
R-U-F-F, okay. Does that name sound familiar to you?
Very common.
Okay.
We know what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so that was sometime last week. Did you guys call the sheriff's office to report it?
He keeps doing stuff like that.
Okay.
He's been doing that ever since he moved here.
How long has Vince been here?
I don't know. He's been here at least 6 years.
6 years. Okay, so a while.
Yeah. He's vandalized their van.
Okay.
She also lists Wayne's medical history and how lately he replays old police stories like they just happened.
And all he's been doing lately is talking about his past. It's when he was a police officer in Georgia.
Okay.
And all the stuff he did back then.
And is he on any type of medications?
Yeah, they just gave him some.
For what is that medication for?
Okay. The facts split. History supports fear. Forensics deny immediacy. Neighbors confirm the feud, the volume, the rhythm. Shout, pause, insult, bang. No one saw Vincent breach the porch. Several place him in his yard, near his steps, not on Wayne's deck. Claims versus surfaces. The column shows no new break, no scrape bright enough to be today.
There's my column there that I built myself. That column, you saw that column? Kind of ties and push it over, and just be an irritation, one thing after another.
Okay. The porch boards, unmarred. The rail, dust settled, not smeared. On scene, Wayne's answers drift. He came through our house, he came up on the deck, beautiful shotgun.
He attacked me today.
Okay.
And,
can you tell me about that?
Huh?
Can you please tell me about that, Wayne, so I can understand it? I wasn't up at the scene at all, so I don't have any of the background.
He was coming at me.
Okay.
And I had my shotgun.
Okay.
Which is a 1920. You guys ought to see this thing. It's so beautiful. And he attacked me, so I shot back.
Okay.
I killed him.
Okay. When he attacked you, how did he attack you, sir?
Oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and he's.
When questions chase specifics, what words, what move, his memory fogs, then fixates on the gun. It's not the behavior of a calculating liar, it's the rhythm of a mind losing the thread.
Call came in about 4 o'clock, right around 4 o'clock.
Yeah,
So what happened before 4?
I'm not quite sure.
Okay. So what do you remember? What do you remember?
That he was attacking us.
Okay, and how was that?
He was going to do this, going to do that. His lights come on. He just irritating the shit out of us. That's
Okay.
what he was doing.
I want to understand and I want to help you, Wayne, but you're going to have to give me some more detail. You're going to have to make me understand. That doesn't. I can't understand what that means. Even being irritating and harassing you and your wife. Can you please? Again, I wasn't there, so just kind of walk me through it. How it happened, the first interaction with you and Vince.
Well,
Today.
Today?
Yeah.
He was harassing, and he was going to go through all this stuff, and he's going to do something with my column and everything, and that was he was on the attack.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what did he say specifically to you? Do you remember?
Yeah. He was just making noise. He was going to do stuff to us. Yeah.
Do you remember what it was that he said?
I want this, you know, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
And it's just, I can't deal with it anymore.
Detectives change environments to change clarity. Room, table, recorder. They expect a timeline. What they get is a pendulum, pride, confusion, anger, and a sentence that will haunt the case file.
I don't know what to tell you guys anymore. I shot him. He's dead.
Do you feel badly that you shot him?
Do I feel bad?
Yeah.
Not really.
Okay.
No, no. He.
Sounds like he deserved it in your mind.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
How long have you wanted to kill this guy? Long, quite a while.
How long have you wanted to kill this guy?
How long do I want to kill this guy?
Yeah. How long have you felt this way? What?
He punctured our tires.
Mm-hmm.
He's fucked up our car.
Yep.
And yeah.
By dusk, the investigation has two pillars that won't stand together. A measurable gap that undercuts immediate threat, and a medical history that explains why Wayne might have seen one anyway. Which pillar holds? The next section decides. Inside the room, Wayne isn't one person. He's a rotation. Contrite, defensive, proud, lost. Detectives try to pin the clock. What happened today?
Tell me about today specifically, if you would.
Today?
Yeah, today. What you said that today is the straw that broke the camel's back. What happened today?
Wayne answered yesterday, or Georgia, or a guitar. He praises the weapon again. A 1912 beautiful shotgun. Like the beauty explains the bullet.
So what made you go get that shotgun?
I just had it up to here.
Okay. Where do you keep your shotgun?
In my house. It's right against the wall. It's a 1912 Ivor Johnson, which is a very beautiful shotgun.
Okay.
I keep it very, very polished. That's all it is. It's just a 12-gauge shotgun.
They test specifics. What did Vincent say? What did he do? Wayne's threat words are placeholders. He's gonna do this, gonna do that. Then he swings hard. Meth, pervert, dark girls.
I don't know what else I can tell you guys. The guy's a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
You know,
Methamphetamine.
Huh?
Methamphetamine.
Methamphetamines.
He's got lots of women over there.
Yeah.
He's causing problems. He has for several years.
Yeah. But he has these young girls.
Yep.
You know, dark girls. And he brings them into his house. The guy is a fucking pervert. Okay? We got that straight?
Yeah.
When the detective asks why he didn't just fight Vincent, Wayne snaps, "He's dead." Okay, now you get it.
He's on the attack.
Yeah.
The guy got shot.
Yeah.
He's dead.
Okay.
Now you get it?
I get it.
All right.
Then he sags, "I just want to go to bed."
I'm tired.
Right.
I'd like to go to bed. Wait a minute.
Two truths back to back. the fighter and the frailty. Forensics speak first. Pellets spread and trajectory match a shot from the porch, landing about 30 feet out, near where Vincent falls. Threshold threat fades, distance grows teeth, then medicine speaks louder. Evaluators chart PTSD flashpoints, vascular hits and dementia, time sense slipping, judgment fraying, threat detection misfiring.
I'm not really clear about it, so okay. I'm telling you the truth. I don't feel very good.
Right.
The law prefers inches and thresholds. This case lives in yards and grey areas, so I'll leave it with you. If fear feels real to the shooter, but isn't real to the scene, is it self-defense, or something our courts can't punish the usual way? Should a victim's violent history weigh against a shooter's broken cognition? And when the gavel never falls, who carries the sentence? The family, the neighborhood, or the next officer running toward the words, "Shots fired"?
To realize, Elizabeth, that somebody took your baby's dad's life, and now that baby is not gonna have a father. And as much as you love your family, they still took your baby's dad.
Is your mom gonna be here? Was she driving? Was she driving down here?
No, she was talking to one of the people that was there at the house.
Oh, at the house?
Yes.
I was at the office. Sorry, I was no longer at the house. Do you know who she was talking to?
He reaches out to you, asks you to ask your mom, so then you ask your mom and your mom sets it up. You helped him set it up.
No, I didn't. I did not. Because I would not want them to fight.
Then your mom sets up the fight.
They did. Both of them. Not me or my mom.
It started like any other Friday evening in downtown Albuquerque. The neon lights buzzed over Central Avenue, a warm March breeze drifted through the streets, and just behind Lindy's Diner, two teenage boys stepped into a quiet alleyway. One of them wouldn't walk out alive. Witnesses nearby heard shouting, then a single gunshot. Moments later, 16-year-old Josue J. Ruiz lay dying on the cold pavement, his blood pooling beneath him as his killer vanished into the night. At first glance, it looked like a tragic fight gone wrong, a scuffle between teenage boys over a girl. But as detectives began digging into what really happened that night, a chilling plot unraveled. Within hours, police arrested 16-year-old Angelo Baldonado, Josue's girlfriend's brother. He was charged with first-degree murder and locked up in juvenile detention. Case closed, or so it seemed. But as weeks turned into months, the cracks in the story began to show. The pieces didn't fit. Witnesses were quiet. Surveillance footage was missing key frames. And someone older, someone closer, was hiding a sinister secret. But the most disturbing twist of all wasn't just who committed the crime, it was who took the fall. In a shocking betrayal, Ortiz Chavez allowed her own son to be charged with murder, believing he'd receive a lighter sentence because he was a juvenile. She said nothing. She let him sit behind bars. She watched the court hearings, all while knowing the truth. Elizabeth Ortiz Chavez, a 49-year-old mother of multiple children, had long been a dominating force in her household. She didn't approve of Josue, not because of any particular incident, but because she felt he was taking her daughter away from her. To her, Josue was a threat, and she didn't handle threats well. The Ruiz family, on the other hand, had always tried to keep their son grounded. Josue was described as respectful, funny, and incredibly loyal. His mother spoke of his willingness to help around the house and his devotion to his girlfriend. At the same time, Josue's relationship with Ortiz Chavez's daughter had started to draw tensions within the family. Rumors of arguments, heated texts, and jealousy began to surface. Adding to the already combustible environment was Angelo Baldonado, Ortiz Chavez's 16-year-old son. Angelo had always lived in his mother's shadow. Those who knew him described him as quiet and reserved, a kid who followed orders and didn't ask questions. He idolized his older brother and was often seen trailing behind his mother, doing what he was told. That loyalty would become his undoing.
Is my mom going to be here somehow?
Is your mom gonna be here? Was she driving? Was she driving down here?
No, she was talking to one of the people that was there At the house.
Oh, at the house?
Yes.
I was at the office. Sorry, I was no longer at the house. Do you know who she was talking to?
No, I just what happened was went home and I went to look at my mom so she could come back home. And then I was getting arrested for a warrant. I don't even know what the warrant's for, so then my mom started talking to him. And she said she was going to meet down here, like she was going to have one of them take him or something like that, so.
Okay.
She should be coming.
So she should be coming. Angelo, because you are a minor, I am going to read you your rights. And we're
That's why I want my mom here. That's me. Like, I didn't get questions or something. If I wasn't like going to talk to my mom without.
So you want your mom here while I read you your rights as well?
Yeah, I want her for the whole thing.
Behind closed doors, Ortiz Chavez began spinning a narrative. She allegedly told Angelo that Josue had hit his sister, that he had disrespected the family, that something had to be done. And when Angelo hesitated, she pushed harder. She talked about honor, about protecting his sister, and about being a man. She convinced him that confronting Josue was the only way to make things right. But the confrontation she had in mind wasn't a conversation, it was a trap. In the days leading up to March 4th, Ortiz Chavez began making preparations. She allegedly arranged for Joshua to meet Angelo behind Lindy's diner, a place Joshua was familiar with, a place he wouldn't be suspicious of. She gave Angelo the gun. After the shooting, Ortiz Chavez wasted no time. She coached Angelo on what to say. She told the police it was a fight between boys that went too far. She played the grieving mother, concerned for her son, devastated for her daughter, and horrified by the violence. And for a time, the police believed her. Angelo was arrested and charged with first-degree murder. Ortiz Chavez walked free. But the truth has a way of clawing its way to the surface. Over the months that followed, Ortiz Chavez's story would begin to unravel, and soon those who had once stood beside her would start to speak out, exposing a dark web of lies, betrayal, and manipulation that no one saw coming. The night of March 4th, 2022, began like any other for 16-year-old Josue Ruiz. He was told to meet up behind Lindy's Diner in downtown Albuquerque, a familiar location and not an unusual place for local teens to hang out. Josue thought he was walking into a one-on-one confrontation with his girlfriend's brother, Angelo Baldonado, over recent tension involving his pregnant girlfriend. But what Josue didn't know was that he wasn't just walking into a fight, he was walking into an ambush. As Josue entered the dimly lit alley, Angelo stood waiting. Tension immediately filled the air. Words were exchanged. Some witnesses nearby claimed they heard raised voices, maybe even shouting.
Did you hear anything? No, so I was walking back and I got food like a few blocks over that way at Joe's, I think it's called. And, yeah, I didn't hear anything, but I saw people running.
Okay, so you saw, kind of start from the beginning.
Okay, so I'm walking down Central towards my residence here.
So you're heading east on Central?
Yep.
Okay.
I get to the corner right there. There's about 5 or 6 people running. One of them is in like a high school graduation gown.
Kids, our kid wearing a graduation cap gown. It was blue, and then the group of people over here out of a car. I saw another guy backed in. Like I just saw strange cars that aren't usually here, and I was driving in circles because this is a rental car and I can't park it back here. And I'm looking for parking on the street, so I've just been circling. And I noticed some weird activity, and I just had this gut-wrenching feeling that someone was about to get shot because there were just weird people back here. And I saw this kid, this guy right here who shot, he was over here talking to some girl, and the last minute I saw him over there, I turned the corner, and then all of a sudden I went back this way and I heard a gunshot when I was on this side of the road, so then I came back over here and parked and he was down.
Okay. Just real quickly, I kind of spoke to that other officer, so my understanding is you guys didn't actually witness anything, but you do have some information on our victim here, is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, I just, he was at work. He was at work, and then he hadn't been around for, 20 minutes, a half an hour and stuff, and I went looking for him. Like, where is he? Because he'll, sometimes he sends him to the store or to go make a delivery someplace and stuff, so I thought, did he go make a delivery? Like, we were ready to open back here, and he's supposed to be going back and forth. He like does dishes, but we're trying to train him to do some of this stuff back here. And it was like, you know, that's his MO. He always just disappeared.
No one reported seeing Elizabeth Ortiz Chavez there in the moment, but she had allegedly driven both boys to the scene and was close by. Then, Armin, a gunshot echoed through the alley. Joshua was shot in the upper chest. The bullet tore through him, collapsing a lung and severing major arteries. He collapsed almost instantly. When first responders arrived, they found Joshua unresponsive, lying face up on the pavement. Blood stained the ground beneath him. Despite attempts to resuscitate him at the scene, he was pronounced dead shortly after at a nearby hospital. Angelo didn't run. He stayed at the scene and appeared shaken. Police took him into custody within minutes. Ortiz Chavez arrived shortly afterward, putting on the performance of a panicked mother, distraught that her son had been involved in such violence. She claimed it had all happened so fast, that Joshua had attacked Angelo, that her son had no choice. But it wasn't that simple. Investigators began piecing together the events of that night.
Elizabeth, so I'm going to read you your rights, okay? Why? Just because I have some more detailed questions I want to ask, and I want to make sure that you understand your rights.
I may not want to answer no questions I don't understand.
So I have more questions about your car.
Okay.
But I can't ask them without reading you your rights, okay? So you have the right to remain silent. Do you understand that? Okay. Anything you say can be used against you in a court of law. Do you understand that? You have the right to consult an attorney before speaking to the police and to have an attorney present during questioning now or in the future. You understand that? If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be appointed for you before any questioning if you wish. Do you understand that? If you decide to answer questions now without a lawyer present, you'll still have the right to stop answering until you talk to an attorney. Do you understand that?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah. I have some more questions about your car, okay? Because the car is not where you're saying you left it at. Okay?
Somebody stole my car.
That's why I'm talking to you. I want to know...
So I have to call my car was stolen.
So here's the thing, okay? So I believe your car was used in today's homicide. Okay?
You're lying to me.
No, I am not. Okay, so if you don't tell me who had your car,
I don't know.
It's your car.
I left my car at the side of the road.
Okay.
I didn't lend my car to nobody.
And did you leave it on the side of the road right next to your house?
No, I lived quite a ways from, what's it called, Wyoming, and Moon is where my house is, in between those streets.
Okay.
And Pennsylvania's a ways.
Okay, so it's not right by your house?
No.
Okay. So talking to your daughter, talking to mom,
okay.
Nobody has a problem with Jay other than...
But my son said he wouldn't.
At this point, investigators began to suspect that Elizabeth Ortiz Chavez was hiding something, possibly to protect her son, Angelo, who was supposed to fight Jay the same day he was killed. Her answers seemed carefully chosen, and the pieces just weren't adding up.
They were tomorrow, and I was with them today.
Okay. So you were with them all day?
Yes.
They went to the laundromat with you?
They did not go to the laundromat with me. During that time, they were all at home.
But you wouldn't know because you weren't home. Correct?
Between the hours of 1:37 and 2:20, I was gone at the laundromat, alone. I got dropped off from Big Sabina. My children, all the boys, they were all still at home. None of them left.
Okay.
They're not allowed to leave the house unless they have permission, because I need to know where they're going.
Okay. So then if they were home, because you said you were on your way over here, right? When your car broke down. That was what you told me.
Yes, between 9 and 10 in the morning.
You were on your way over here?
Mm-hmm.
By yourself?
I'm by myself, yes.
Okay.
And
so then
still at the house.
Okay. So then when I find video surveillance from the incident.
Okay. But you have to give me a moment.
Okay.
My son had an interview at 9 o'clock. and we were over at the Whataburger over there, Cottonwood or whatever. So it had to have been after 10, between 10 and 10:30 perhaps. I left the house shortly after I had spoke to Elizabeth. And I never made it.
Let's backtrack now. So you're saying it broke down, I left my car there, we've been driving up and down. I know, we've been driving up and down trying to find your car. We've called in, checked to see if it was towed. It has not been towed. And again.
So then where's my car?
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay.
Okay? So, did you shoot Jay?
No, I didn't. No. He's a kid. He's a baby.
I know, but somebody did.
But no. I have no reason to do anything.
Okay, so then you leave your car, right? You leave your car, you walk back home, and then at 1:37, it takes you to the laundromat. At 2:20, you come back, and then obviously all this is going on, right?
I'm sorry, I just completely zoned out on you because I'm just a little afraid.
Okay. So, and again, I am recording. I am going to remind you that there is video surveillance footage in that alley. I'm going to find out.
Okay.
I'm just waiting for, and I mean, it might be ready. I don't know because I've been here interviewing everybody, but I do have officers there trying to pull the video surveillance. So I am going to find out what happened, being that you bring up your car and it matches the description that I was given.
What do you mean?
There was witnesses.
Okay.
Okay, there's witnesses in the area. There's there's a school there. I don't know if you know that.
I was not there.
Okay, but I'm telling you, your car was. So again, right now, because you're telling me you left the house around this time, and between 9:58, that phone call, until 1:37, hear me out, between...
I was home though, after that. I was home by 10:30. I made it home. I walked home.
Okay, again, I can't confirm that yet.
This is craziness.
Because again, I'm telling you, based on your demeanor, I think you know what happened. And I know it's your car. And I am going to confirm it on video surveillance.
I hope you do, because I'm like lost right now.
Surveillance footage from nearby buildings captured Josue walking calmly into the alley. His body language showed no signs of aggression or hostility. Witnesses told police that they had seen Josue in the hours before the shooting and that he had seemed relaxed, unaware of any danger. One even said Josue had been texting someone on his way there, likely Ortiz Chavez or her daughter, confirming the meetup spot. The most chilling part? The gun. The weapon used in the murder was traced back to someone close to the family, and it became clear that Angelo hadn't obtained it on his own. According to later court documents, Elizabeth Ortiz Chavez had given him the gun, and in doing so, she not only put a deadly weapon in her son's hand, she handed him a burden that would change both their lives forever. After the shooting, Ortiz Chavez doubled down. She coached Angelo through his police interview, telling him to claim self-defense. She insisted to officers that Josue had been violent with her daughter, that her son had merely tried to protect his sister. The story seemed to fit. A teen scuffle gone wrong. Angelo, young and quiet, didn't push back. But the lie couldn't last forever. As Josue's family grieved, inconsistencies in the narrative began to surface. Why had Josue agreed to meet if he knew it could turn violent? Why had Angelo brought a gun? And why was Elizabeth, the adult in this situation, the one who coordinated the meeting? Josue's mother began asking questions, and the answers were terrifying. This wasn't a random act of teen violence. It was a planned execution set in motion by a woman who saw Josue as a threat to her control over her daughter. Ortiz Chavez manipulated her own son into committing a crime he couldn't fully understand, all while sitting safely on the sidelines. And while Angelo sat behind bars charged with first-degree murder, the real mastermind behind Josue Ruiz's death continued living her life, free, unscathed, and convinced she had gotten away with it. But the truth was inching closer, and soon the weight of her deception would begin to crumble under the light of justice. In the immediate aftermath of the shooting, Albuquerque police moved swiftly. With Angelo Baldonado at the scene, visibly shaken but compliant, and his mother, Elizabeth Ortiz Chavez, already spinning a narrative of self-defense, detectives initially believed they had a tragic but straightforward case: a teenage dispute, a violent altercation, a fatal misjudgment. But as investigators dug deeper, they began to sense something wasn't quite right. Angelo told police that he had only brought the gun for protection. According to his initial statement, he said Joshua rushed him, forcing him to pull the trigger. Elizabeth backed her son's version completely, painting Joshua as aggressive and abusive toward her pregnant daughter. She even claimed Joshua had hit her daughter days prior, a claim that no one else corroborated. The only real evidence of prior tension came from text messages between the teens, showing some emotional arguments, but nothing close to the physical abuse Elizabeth alleged. Detectives weren't ready to rule out self-defense, but several red flags began to emerge. Surveillance footage from nearby buildings captured Joshua calmly approaching the alley. His posture showed no signs of aggression. There were no signs of a struggle on Angelo. No bruises, cuts, or defensive wounds. The single gunshot wound on Joshua's body also didn't match the story of a scuffle. The trajectory and close-range nature suggested the shot had been deliberate, not reactionary. Then there was the weapon itself, a registered firearm that belonged to an associate of Ortiz Chavez. Investigators learned that Angelo did not have access to the gun on his own. When pressed, he initially hesitated, then claimed his mother had given it to him for protection. This revelation shifted the entire trajectory of the case. Why would a mother give her 16-year-old son a gun to confront another teen? Why didn't she stop the altercation or notify authorities if she believed there was real danger? As weeks passed, more inconsistencies emerged. Ortiz Chavez had deleted text messages from the night of the shooting.
Are you still gonna fight them?
Yes, that's not changing. I prefer not tomorrow because my hands are up and I have to work. But oh well, they're gonna act all cocky right now, and that's gonna f them over.
I know.
They better not jump me because I'm having Darnie come and watch, just in case. It's one of the only people I'm with that can beat my too.
I don't know who that is.
Donovan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so better hope they don't pull no.
I'll be there too.
Why?
Because I don't want anything like they pull a gun out.
That's why he's there.
I don't care. I'm going.
Angelo's statements began to vary in minor but telling ways. Then came the turning point. A Facebook message from Ortiz Chavez's older son to a distant relative. In it, he described the guilt he felt over what happened and hinted that his brother wasn't the shooter. He said their mother had done something bad and that she let Angelo take the fall. Detectives reopened their interviews with the family. This time, they approached the older son directly. He was reluctant at first, but eventually agreed to share what he knew. According to him, Elizabeth had bragged about orchestrating the situation. She claimed she didn't shoot Joshua herself, but she made sure it happened. The older son also revealed a critical piece of evidence: voice messages and texts that had been saved in an old group chat. These communications placed Ortiz Chavez at the center of the planning, coaching Angelo, choosing the location, and ensuring the confrontation would happen when no adults were around. Armed with this new evidence, police began to reconstruct the full sequence of events. It became clear that the confrontation wasn't spontaneous. It was arranged. Ortiz Chavez had lured Joshua to the alley under the guise of making peace. Knowing there would be a gun waiting, she had emotionally manipulated Angelo into believing he was defending his sister's honor. A classic example of parental coercion taken to a criminal extreme. By late 2022, prosecutors were re-evaluating the case. While Angelo remained in juvenile detention awaiting trial, questions about his level of culpability dominated legal discussions. Was he a killer or a pawn? Then in early 2023, a grand jury reviewed the new evidence. The result? Elizabeth Ortiz Chavez was arrested and charged with second-degree murder, evidence tampering, and child abuse. In her initial hearings, she pled not guilty, but the tone had shifted. For the first time, she was no longer seen as a distressed mother. She was the accused mastermind behind a teen's death. In parallel, Angelo's legal team began pushing for a plea deal, hoping the court would recognize that he had been manipulated by his mother. Prosecutors agreed to reduce the charges in exchange for Angelo's full cooperation and testimony. The public reaction was one of horror. The idea that a mother could set up a child, not only someone else's child, but her own son, was almost unthinkable. But the evidence was undeniable. Elizabeth Ortiz Chavez had engineered a murder and then allowed her teenage son to face the consequences. And now justice was coming for her. The courtroom fell silent as Elizabeth Ortiz Chavez entered in handcuffs, her once confident demeanor now replaced with a hardened stare. By the time her trial began in late 2024, she was no longer just the mother of a teenage suspect. She was the accused puppet master in a murder plot that had left a young boy dead and nearly destroyed 2 families. Prosecutors argued that she had deliberately orchestrated the killing of Josue Ruiz, then manipulated her own son to take the blame, a strategy they described as one of the most cold-blooded acts of maternal betrayal the state had ever seen. The prosecution opened with a powerful narrative. Elizabeth had controlled the circumstances from the beginning. She had armed Angelo. She had chosen the location. She had lured Josue under the pretense of peace. And after the fatal shooting, she watched silently as her son, a 16-year-old, was arrested for a crime he didn't commit alone. This was not a spontaneous act, the district attorney stated in his opening remarks. This was a planned execution, engineered by a mother who weaponized her child. Key evidence came in the form of digital messages, some retrieved through forensic recovery from Elizabeth's deleted chats. They revealed communications in which she not only discussed Josue's whereabouts and movements, but also gave clear guidance to her son about how to handle the confrontation. One message read, "You need to stand up and show him you're not scared. Don't let him walk over us." Another message, more cryptic, said, "Just make sure it's done. Be strong." The most damning testimony came from Elizabeth's older son, who had originally tipped off authorities. He told the court that his mother had privately admitted to setting everything up. She had claimed that Josue was poisoning her daughter and ruining the family. He described her emotional manipulation of Angelo, her callous disregard after the shooting, and her disturbing ability to maintain a calm front while her son sat in juvenile detention. "She told me it was better that Angelo did it," he testified, "because he's a kid. They go easier on him." She actually believed that. The defense attempted to spin a different narrative. They claimed Elizabeth was a protective mother who had been overwhelmed by a volatile situation involving her pregnant teenage daughter. They argued that she had indeed provided emotional support to her son, but never gave him a gun or instructed him to shoot Josue. Her defense attorney painted her as a flawed but caring woman whose only mistake was failing to intervene in time. But the weight of the evidence in her own family's testimony made that narrative hard to sell. Angelo Baldonado, now 18, testified as well. Visibly shaken and remorseful, he confirmed that his mother had told him what to do, handed him the weapon, and stayed nearby during the shooting. "I didn't want to hurt anyone," he said. "She made it seem like I had to, like if I didn't, I was weak, that I wasn't protecting my sister." His testimony painted a picture of a teenager who had been deeply manipulated, acting under psychological pressure more than his own volition. Ultimately, Elizabeth Ortiz Chavez saw the walls closing in. Just before the jury was to deliberate, she took a plea deal, pleading guilty to second-degree murder with a firearm enhancement. The prosecution agreed to drop the first-degree murder charge in exchange for a full admission of guilt. The courtroom was stunned. After 2 years of denial, she finally acknowledged her role in orchestrating Josue Ruiz's death. The plea deal meant she would avoid a lengthy trial and the possibility of life in prison. Instead, she faced a sentence of up to 18 years behind bars. The judge, while accepting the plea, made it clear during her statement, "This court recognizes the weight of your crime. You abused your role as a mother in a way few can comprehend. Your actions destroyed lives, including your own son's." Angelo, in a separate juvenile court proceeding, had earlier accepted a plea deal for conspiracy to commit first-degree murder and aggravated assault. He was sentenced to remain in detention until the age of 21. The judge ordered counseling, psychiatric evaluations, and mandatory rehabilitation services, acknowledging that while he was involved in the act, he had also been a victim of manipulation. The Ruiz family, while relieved to see justice moving forward, expressed a mixture of grief and frustration. "We will never get Josué back," his mother said outside the courtroom, "but at least the truth is out. At least now people know what really happened." The courtroom had emptied, the headlines had started to fade, but for the families involved, especially the Ruiz family, the aftermath of Josué's murder was just beginning. The truth had finally emerged, but no conviction, no sentence, no admission of guilt could bring back the bright, hopeful 16-year-old who was supposed to become a father in a few short months. Instead of celebrating a new chapter of life, Josué's loved ones were left to mourn a life stolen by manipulation, betrayal, and senseless violence. The community of Albuquerque was rocked by the details of the case. It wasn't just that a teenager had been murdered. It was how it had happened. A mother weaponizing her son. A false narrative spun with such precision it fooled police, prosecutors, even the public. It exposed flaws in the justice system's handling of juvenile offenders and brought attention to how family dynamics can obscure the truth during criminal investigations. Elizabeth Ortiz Chavez, now in prison, has shown little public remorse beyond what was required in court. Those who knew her before the crime were divided in their reactions. Some were shocked, unable to reconcile the woman they once knew with the cold strategist described in court. Others weren't surprised, recalling her controlling personality and long history of toxic behavior within her own household. Her daughter, Josué's pregnant girlfriend at the time of the murder, has remained largely out of the public eye. According to reports, she gave birth months after Josué's death and has since moved away from New Mexico with relatives, raising the child far from the public spotlight. Angelo Baldonado, meanwhile, remains incarcerated at a juvenile detention center. He is set to be released when he turns 21, provided he completes rehabilitation programs and demonstrates progress. His involvement in the murder remains a subject of debate. While many sympathize with the immense psychological pressure he was under, others question how much he truly understood and how willingly he participated in the crime. "He's a victim, yes," one local attorney said, "but he's also someone who pulled a trigger. Accountability and empathy must coexist." The ripple effects of the case spread far beyond the courtroom. Schools in the area implemented new peer mediation and mental health resources. Youth organizations began hosting talks about manipulation, emotional abuse, and how to recognize dangerous patterns in family and romantic relationships. Local law enforcement launched a new task force focused on juvenile crime and family-based violence, acknowledging that the system had missed key signs in Josué's case. The Ruiz family, despite their grief, has tried to turn tragedy into purpose. They launched a foundation in Josué's name, dedicated to supporting teen parents, mentoring at-risk youth, and advocating for justice reform. "We couldn't save our son," Josué's mother said during a memorial event, "but we can fight to protect others like him, kids who are just trying to survive, to love, to live." In interviews, friends described Josué as funny, loyal, and full of energy. He loved music, spent hours on video games, and dreamed of becoming a mechanic. The day he died, he had told his mom he'd be home by 8 p.m. Instead, he became the center of a criminal tragedy that would expose the worst kind of betrayal, the kind that comes from the very person who's supposed to protect you. Josué's story is no longer just about a murder. It's a cautionary tale about control, manipulation, and the devastating consequences of unchecked power within families. And it's a reminder that behind every courtroom headline is a family torn apart, a future erased, and a young life that never got the chance to truly begin. In the annals of American true crime, the story of Josué Ruiz stands out not because of who he was, a 16-year-old boy from Albuquerque with a girlfriend, a baby on the way, and a life full of promise, but because of how brutally, senselessly, and deceptively that life was taken. His murder wasn't the result of gang violence, drugs, or random conflict. It was far more insidious. Josué was killed not by a stranger, but by a family twisted in on itself. A family led by a mother who weaponized her children to serve her own fractured sense of control. When Josue agreed to meet behind Lindy's diner that night, he likely expected a fistfight, some yelling, maybe a few threats. Teenagers, after all, are no strangers to high emotion. But what he never expected was that the mother of the girl he loved would be the one to orchestrate his death. And worse, that she would then sit back, watch her own son take the fall, and go on living her life as if nothing had happened. Elizabeth Ortiz Chavez's betrayal went beyond murder. She violated the sacred trust of motherhood, not only toward her own children, but toward Josue as well. She pretended to care, to mediate, to protect. But behind the curtain, she was calculating every move, manipulating every interaction, and fueling the confrontation that ended in death. Her cold, clinical orchestration of the crime and her attempt to hide behind her son was what ultimately sealed her fate. What makes this case so haunting is not just the act itself, but the motivations behind it. At its core, the crime wasn't about a specific fight or a single moment of rage. It was about power. Ortiz Chavez couldn't control her daughter's growing independence. She resented Josue for taking her daughter away. She feared losing control over her family unit. And in that fear, she turned to the most extreme form of control, elimination. And to do it, she used the very people who trusted her the most. Even after the dust settled, with Ortiz Chavez behind bars and Angelo in juvenile custody, the emotional wreckage remained. A child was left fatherless. 2 families were shattered. A community questioned how something so horrific could unfold right under their noses. But in the rubble of that devastation, hard truths came to light about coercive parenting, systemic blind spots in law enforcement, and the vulnerability of youth caught in adult schemes. In many ways, Angelo Baldonado became the second victim in this tragedy. Yes, he pulled the trigger. Yes, he stood in the alley holding a gun. But he was also a child manipulated by the one person he trusted most, his mother. His actions were wrong, but they were shaped by fear, by pressure, and by a lack of understanding of the full consequences. His sentence reflects that nuance, accountability tempered by recognition of his manipulated state of mind. The legal outcomes, Ortiz Chavez's 18-year sentence, Angelo's juvenile detention until age 21, offer some sense of justice, but not closure. Josue's death is permanent. No prison term can undo that. No courtroom testimony can resurrect his life. But what has emerged from this darkness is a collective awareness, a warning to parents, to teens, to investigators, and to the justice system. Not all violence looks the same. Not all manipulation is visible. And sometimes the person pulling the strings is the last one you'd suspect. His story, while steeped in tragedy, has become a catalyst for change. As true crime viewers, we often seek answers. Who did it? Why? Could it have been prevented? In Josue's case, the answers are both clear and painful. A mother did it. She did it out of control, ego, and fear. And yes, it could have been prevented if someone had questioned her sooner, if someone had seen the manipulation at play. This was not just the story of a murder. It was the story of a boy who trusted the wrong people, of a mother who chose control over compassion, and of a system that took too long to see the truth. And now all that's left is the memory of Josue Ruiz, a teenager whose life should have been just beginning. May his story never be forgotten. And like, share, and subscribe to support this channel and help bring more awareness to the stories that matter.
Hey, how you doing?
My wife's missing.
Okay, so what's going on?
She's uncharacteristically missing.
Okay.
I have her wallet's here. She carries a wallet, her ID's in it, with some money. Her phone's here. Her car's in the garage.
This is 50-year-old Matthew Moore. On May 25th, 2020, Westerville police answered his 911 call about a missing wife.
So my wife, Alan Noel, has been missing all day. Her purse is here with her ID, her car is here with her car keys, and her phone's here. I And I don't know, so I identified the college. It's very, very uncharacteristic for computers.
52-year-old Emily Noble. Her phone, wallet, and car were still at the house, yet Matthew spoke as if he already knew the worst. Within hours, he compared her disappearance to the tragic death of their son the year before, hinting at a grim fate no one else had imagined.
And she just hasn't been here. I sleep in this room. I get up in the middle of the night sometimes to go to the bathroom. And I don't go back in with her because I don't want to wake her up. So
Officers note his calmness, his oddly specific details, and the way he volunteers theories nobody asked for. Every word, every gesture begins to feel less like grief and more like a performance.
I end up in this bedroom, our second bedroom. When I got up this morning, all I did was look on my phone, find my phone, and it said she was here. So everything was fine. Just figured she was in the other room. Eventually I got up, I walked around, she wasn't here.
What made
no
you?
Big deal.
What made you? You lost me a little bit. You said you got up, went to the restroom, and you went back to this room.
Yeah.
And then you looked on your phone to see if she was here.
This morning I looked down on the phone. Last night I didn't. That's
okay.
And then because of my prostate, I don't know if you're that age, you pee in the middle of the night.
No.
So I get up in the middle of the night and I can pee. Instead of going back into bed with her, so I wake her up, I just fall asleep on this couch.
Did you go to sleep with her
prior to that? Yeah.
Okay.
4 months later, Emily would be found exactly as Matthew had once described.
It's a real short walk, it's 15 minutes at the most. A lot of the time I was like, well, maybe she's just out doing that.
Staged under a tree with a cord and a water bottle.
All right, back out. Hey, get them out of here. Set up crime scene tape.
Details he'd mentioned long before anyone knew she was dead. How could a husband predict a scene no one else had seen? Was it chilling intuition? Or a carefully rehearsed confession? And what really happened inside that house the morning Emily Noble disappeared? It was a quiet Monday morning in Westerville when Matthew Moore dialed 911. He told dispatchers his wife Emily had gone out for her usual 15-minute foraging walk and hadn't come back.
Okay, so did you guys go to bed last night and then you just woke up and she's gone? I went to bed. I get up in the middle of the night and I'm feeling good, I can't tell you exactly how, but I end up just going to sleep in another room. I don't wake her up. Okay, so when you woke up in the middle of the night, though, she was still there? I don't know. Everything was so normal,
Her phone, wallet, and car were still inside the house, yet he'd waited nearly 7 hours before calling police. Officers arriving at the home were struck by his composure.
I don't want to say definitely. We were together last night. We spent the day. We came home. We slept together in our bed. I got up. I'm guessing it was early because usually I make it to like 3 before I have to get up and go to the bathroom. Last night was like, I'm saying 12:31. I got up, went to the bathroom, went into this room, fell back to sleep. Took a while to get back to sleep, and I woke up late, like 10:30, which is unusual. I usually get up around 6, and I got up and she's not here. She's not here.
Rather than searching the trails himself, Matthew guided them room to room, pointing out items he thought might matter.
Has she ever threatened to harm herself? Ever done this before?
No.
Okay. Is y'all's relationship healthy? She never threatened to leave you or anything like that?
No more than any other relationship.
All right. So I see that the bed was made. Did you do that or she did that?
That is I just noticed that. You're right. I didn't make the bed. She did. That bed was made when I got up today. I didn't make it. So she was, I'm guessing, here this morning.
Where was her cell phone? Was it with her wallet?
Yes.
Okay.
A made bed, a text message from Emily's sister. He even speculated aloud about self-harm, comparing her absence to the way their son had died the year before.
I have a gut feeling right here. It's when my son died, same thing. It's great fucking here. It's awful. This is so unusual. I'm dying.
I'm afraid something happens.
This is not normal.
Yeah, this is
a connection no one else was making that day. For investigators, what should have been a routine welfare check was already starting to feel like something darker. Why husband wait so long to call? And why did every detail he offered hint at a grim ending no one had yet imagined? As officers moved through the Moore home, their body cams captured a husband who seemed more like a tour guide than a frantic spouse. Matthew pointed at small details nobody had asked about. A made bed, a flashlight on a box, a USB cord he said didn't belong there.
What do you mean it doesn't belong here?
It doesn't belong. That's where it belongs. Right there. I've never seen it. I just noticed it. Someone took it and put it there.
Now, can she reach that? Because she's very short.
I don't know.
He noted how short Emily was, how she might have reached the beam, how she liked to forage in the woods.
I would hate to think, I don't know, man. It's just weird that it's here. And I don't know if there was more than one thing on here. All I know is this is, we went to that spring and filled up bottles yesterday. This is the spring water.
That's the spring water?
When I got home.
Your phone's ringing.
I just brought it home and put it there.
Each observation sounded less like a clue and more like a script. Police would later recall that within hours of Emily's disappearance, Matthew had offered explanations. Self-harm, a walk gone wrong, that neatly matched the scene where she would eventually be found. But on that day, there was still no body, no sign of struggle, no clear evidence of foul play. Just a missing woman, a calm husband, and a house full of objects that suddenly felt like props. Detectives left the home with more questions than answers.
I'm going to go talk to my supervisor real quick. He's going to help start circulating the area you told me about. Just give me just a second, and I also want to contact St. Anne's and see maybe if she's over there. Okay? Give me just a second, sir. Thank you.
Unaware that 4 months later, they would be staring at a scene in the woods, eerily similar to the one Matthew had painted for them that morning. 4 months passed with no sign of Emily Noble. Search teams combed local parks, bike trails, and wooded areas, including the same park where Matthew and Emily's son had died the year before. Each sweep ended the same way, empty-handed. Then, on a cool September morning, a group of women walking along a wooded trail less than a mile from the Moore home stumbled on something horrifying. Under the base of a tree lay human remains, partially concealed by brush, with a USB cord looped overhead. Nearby sat a black water bottle containing an alcoholic drink and a set of rings placed neatly on the ground. Police rushed to the scene and quickly sealed it off. The coroner confirmed what everyone feared. It was 52-year-old Emily Noble. Even more chilling, prosecutors later said the scene mirrored details Matthew had volunteered months earlier. A cord, a secluded spot, items arranged just so. How could a husband describe so precisely the place where his wife would be found? Was it coincidence or proof of something far darker? After Emily's body was discovered,
Yeah, lock it down. Lock this woods down for now. Make it as big as we can.
So the big thing now is setting up a perimeter. You know who this likely is.
Yes.
And getting a car over to that house.
investigators focused squarely on Matthew Moore, brought him in for what they called a voluntary interview. From the start, he questioned whether he was really free to leave.
Like I told you when we were out there, you were not under arrest. You were handcuffed coming in, is that correct? Correct. Okay. And that door doesn't lock. This is a voluntary interview. Okay. Obviously, we need to do the best we can to get the full story. You can find your wife and you can get back to normal. Obviously, part of that involves talking with you. So, again, this is a voluntary thing. Like I told you out there, I haven't lied to you, I'm not going to start now. We could have done it from my house? No. This part we can't do because it's not voluntary. No, it's completely voluntary. And I can see you.
A nervous move that detectives noticed immediately.
I don't want
to. I'm just. Yeah, no, you can try that door right now. At some point, could we, like, I want to help you. I want to get this going up because I didn't do it, and I want you to find whatever the hell I can do it. Me too. I want it to happen.
Throughout hours of questioning, Matthew spoke of Emily in the past tense.
I know I did not hurt her. I didn't do this. So the other thing that I think of is that she did something. Guys, I did not hurt her. I did not hurt her. I loved her.
He told us that he loved his wife and said it in the past tense.
So not love, but loved.
Loved.
I loved my wife.
She loved me. I would be very surprised if there was like a...
was the defendant just there talking about Emily's feelings towards him?
Yes, he was.
And what did he say?
He said, no, she loved me. Again, past tense.
Loved, not love.
Correct.
He contradicted himself about timelines, about when she'd left, and about the neighbor who supposedly saw her that morning.
So we found a little bit of information. We still don't know where she is yet, okay? Your neighbor saw her in the garage about between 9 and 10 a.m. this morning. Said she was just standing in the garage.
Awesome.
When he was leaving, he saw her. She was just standing there. He said hello. She said hello.
This morning?
This morning.
10 in the morning?
Yeah, around 9, 10
Awesome.
o'clock. He went about his business.
Yes, John.
51?
John.
Okay. So we know...
She's around.
Somewhere around. Okay.
He even speculated on how she might have harmed herself, despite police finding no history of mental illness or suicidal behavior in her past. Detectives also revisited their own body cam footage from the first day, noting how Matthew had highlighted a cord and flashlight in his garage, details eerily similar to the scene in the woods. Messages between Emily and her friends surfaced, raising concerns about bruises and possible abuse.
Matt was already intoxicated when they got to my house. I observed bruises on her arms.
When offered a lie detection exam, Matthew eagerly accepted.
As I said, there are no tricks. I have not lied to you since I first went up to your house yesterday. I'm not going to start now. Now, when I ask you the questions, I just want you to answer yes or no. Is your name Matthew Moore?
Yes.
Are the lights on in this room?
Yes.
Do you know where Emily is?
No.
Is this the month of May?
Yes.
Did you kill Emily?
No.
Are we in the city of Westerville?
Yes.
How do you think it went? Did you comfortable with it?
Yeah.
Does it make sense and everything like that?
I said maybe no to something that was a little awkward.
Okay.
But the CVSA test flagged deception when he was asked if he knew where Emily was. While not admissible in court, it pushed investigators further toward treating him as their prime suspect. Was this the portrait of a grieving husband misunderstood by police, or of a man whose own words and actions were betraying him? In 2021, a Franklin County grand jury indicted Matthew Moore on 2 counts of murder and 1 of felonious assault. Prosecutors argued that he killed his wife and staged the scene to look like a suicide.
And we had bilateral fractures of the hyoid bone, which is a bone further up in the neck area. There was trauma to the left maxilla, the nasal bones, the left side of her face, up by her nose, top of her lip area.
They pointed to his behavior after she vanished, not joining searches, speaking of her in the past tense, and volunteering suspicious details as evidence he already knew she was dead. The defense countered that there was no physical evidence tying him to Emily's death. No eyewitnesses, no DNA.
Law enforcement extensively searched the area. DI&I, the house, the cars, the attic, the clothes. The evidence will show you that there's nothing. There's no blood, there's no tissue, there's no fibers. The theory is that Matt Moore killed his wife. Don't know when, but Matt Moore kills his wife and then somehow gets her body into the wooded area where you walked yesterday and stages her death. And then I heard the state go on to say that their evidence will show how not just was he that sophisticated to figure out those 2 things, but he then also took great efforts to control the situation after. May 24th, and May 25th of 2020.
They highlighted investigative mistakes, mishandled evidence, and the tragic fact that Emily's first husband and the couple's son had both died by suicide, making self-inflicted death a real possibility. Expert testimony clashed. A forensic anthropologist said the fractures were consistent with strangulation or staging. Other experts said the injuries could also match a self-hanging with the USB cord found at the scene. After less than 3 hours of deliberation, the jury reached its decision. Matthew Moore was acquitted on all charges.
Verdict on count 1. We, the jury, being duly impaneled and sworn, find the defendant Matthew L. Moore not guilty of murder as he stands charged in count 1 of the indictment, dated the 26th of August, 2022, signed by all 12 members of the panel. Verdict on count 2. We, the jury, being duly impaneled and sworn, find the defendant Matthew L. Moore not guilty of murder as he stands charged in count 2 of the indictment, dated 26 August 2022, and signed in ink by all 12 members of the panel. Verdict on count 3. We, the jury, being duly impaneled and sworn, find the defendant Matthew Moore not guilty of felonious assault as he stands charged in count 3 of the indictment, dated August 26, 2022, signed by all 12 members of the panel.
He broke down in tears as the verdict was read, walking out of court a free man while Emily Noble's family sat stunned. Did a jury just protect an innocent man from a wrongful conviction, or let a killer walk free? Matthew Moore left the courthouse in August 2022, a free man. The charges were gone, but the questions were not. To this day, no one else has been charged in connection with Emily Noble's death. For Emily's friends and family, the trial didn't bring closure. Prosecutors had painted a picture of a husband staging his wife's death. The defense had painted a picture of a man devastated by tragedy and falsely accused. The jury believed there was reasonable doubt. Online, armchair detectives still debate the case. Was it coincidence that Matthew spoke of cords, rings, and locations months before Emily's body was found? Or was it evidence of something much darker that the jury couldn't quite see? All that remains is a cold case file, a family still grieving, and a community still haunted by what happened in Westerville. Did Emily Noble take her own life? Or did someone else decide how it would end? And if so, will the truth about that morning ever be known?
Tina, come home. There's nobody mad at you. My arms are open.
Gardaí at Middleton Garda Station are investigating the disappearance of Tina Satchwell from Youghal in County Cork, who was last seen in March of 2017.
And she asked me if I'd drop over to Dungarvan, which is only like 20 minutes drive away. And when I returned, something like 2 hours later, she just wasn't there.
Yesterday evening, the Garda Technical Bureau team discovered what are believed to be human remains.
On March 20th, 2017, the Irish seaside town of Youghal was enveloped in a modest serenity on a Monday afternoon. Tina Satchwell, a lively 45-year-old who loved dogs and had a sense of style, was last seen in her home on Grattan Street, which used to be a warm and inviting place. According to her husband Richard, Tina was left behind when he left for a shopping trip. The house was strangely silent when he got back. Tina had left. Only 2 empty suitcases, like silent sentinels in a mystery that would haunt Ireland for years, were left behind. No note, no trace, no indication that she had left. Richard Satchwell, her husband, told the Gardaí that she had just left their house after packing 2 suitcases and taking an enormous amount of cash. He claimed that she needed space, that she was upset, and that their marriage was failing. However, there was something off about his story. There were no footprints marked on the path Tina might have taken, no sighting, no phone call, and no hint as to what happened to her. Questions now pulsed through U-Haul. What had happened in that house? Why did Tina disappear silently? Ireland held its breath, waiting for the truth to emerge from the silence as the mystery grew deeper and darker, casting a shadow across Grattan Street.
Give her back on the lips. I said, I'll see you in a couple of hours, love. The last thing I said to her. A couple of hours. And now it's 3 months.
In today's video, we're diving into one of Ireland's most baffling mysteries, the disappearance of Tina Satchwell. We'll trace her final days from her husband's shifting accounts to the chilling discoveries that turned a missing person case into something far darker. Was Tina running from her life? Did she meet foul play? Or is the truth buried nearer to home? As we unravel the clues, deceptions, and suspicions surrounding this case, tune in. This is Tina Satchwell's story.
I just can't go on not knowing. Even if you just ring the guards, let people know that you're all right.
Who was Tina Satchwell? How did Richard and Tina met? Why would she simply disappear without explanation? And what was being kept hidden behind the doors of the home she shared with others? Let's go back where it all began. The year is 1989. Tina Dingavan, a 17-year-old from Fermoy, County Cork, Ireland, recently moved to Colville to live with her grandmother, Florence. Richard Satchwell, a quiet Englishman, is 21 years old and lives next door with his brother. Only a few months after they first met in October 1989, Richard proposed to Tina to marry him at Mount Pleasant. She accepted, and they were married in Oldham, England, on November 30th, 1991, Tina's 20th birthday. But here is a twist. Her grandmother, Florence Dingavan, raised her, and Tina grew up believing they were mother and daughter. However, when she went looking for her birth certificate at her confirmation age, Tina found out the truth that Florence was actually her grandmother, and a woman she believed was her sister was in fact her mother. Tina and Richard appeared to be an ordinary couple, but something was odd between them. Tina's family noticed her growing distant. When Tina disappeared, Richard claimed that she was stressed.
My original thoughts is she got up to have a break, get her head straight, because she's been very upset in recent months. She's had a few crises within the family over the last few years. You know, I think it took its toll, and that's why I think she got up and walked out.
Even reported that she had taken approximately 26,000 euros from the couple's savings that were hidden in a money box in the attic. Then on March 20th, 2017, she vanished into the mist of that seaside town. What was going on in Tina's life that nobody anticipated? Were there fault lines in her marriage that foreshadowed disaster? After discussing Tina's need for space, Richard Satchwell made a call to Fermoy Garda Station, which is more than 40 kilometers from Youghal, on March 24th, 2017. He told the officers that his wife had left the house 4 days before, but he wasn't concerned about her well-being or safety. He said she would come home sooner rather than later because he believed their relationship had gotten worse. Recalling the day his wife disappeared, Satchwell said Tina had asked him to get a few things in Aldi and Dungarvan, but when he got home, she was gone. House keys were on the ground and her phone on the kitchen table. He said their dogs were in the sitting room, which he thought was strange as she never left the house without them.
And she asked me if I'd drop over to Dungarvan, which is only like 20 minutes drive away. And when I returned, something like 2 hours later, she just wasn't there. I found her keys on the ground as I went through the front door. So I just said she's gone out for a walk. And when she didn't come back, naturally you get a bit sickly feeling, I suppose.
When there was no sign of Tina coming home after an hour, Satchwell said he started to get worried and went upstairs to discover 2 suitcases missing and the 26,000 euros gone. He told Gardaí he felt like the ground had opened up beneath him. Gardaí came to the Richards home. The Gardaí started digging, and the community held its breath, hoping for answers. What dark secrets were hidden beneath his carefully planned story?
An incident room is established in Middleton Garda Station, and a team of detectives are working on Tina's disappearance. To date, there have been 220 separate lines of inquiry conducted. This has included liaison with Interpol, and today we are conducting a search here at Mitchell's Wood, Bridgetown, Castlemartyr in County Cork. We are looking for evidence in relation to Tina's disappearance, and we have, for the purposes of this search, restricted access to this area.
Now Superintendent Anne-Marie Toomey was appointed Senior Investigation Officer in the case. She also included Dr. Neve McCullough, who is a specialist in the search and recovery of human remains in the case. Toomey reviewed the case and, on reasonable grounds, she believed that Tina was not missing. She died with unlawful means. The trial ordered her to conduct a review of the pieces of evidence and submit the report. After this, she told the trial that the majority of homicides happen in Ireland involving concealment after the event, indicating that the female victims are disposed of closer to their home within a range of 1 kilometer from their house. She said there is a possibility that Tina had been killed at her home and her body concealed there. Dr. McCullough recommended Gardaí that a more invasive search take place at Miss Satchwell's home, as there had been structural changes to Grattan Street, which was a major red flag. The changes include specifically the plasterboard, stairs, and ground floor of the sitting room. She also recommended that the search include a cadaver dog to determine the possibility of buried remains. The search for Tina's body was started and led by a cadaver dog who indicated the presence of human remains. On October 10th, 2023 at 5 p.m., Satchwell was taken into custody for his wife's murder and sent to Cobh Garda Station. Meanwhile, the intrusive Grattan Street search was in progress. Satchwell repeatedly stated in his interviews with the Gardaí that evening that when he got home, his wife, 2 suitcases, and 26,000 euros were gone. Satchwell described another incident of suspected violence, claiming Tina would bite him, throw a plate at him, and strike him. Then she'd calm down and there would be tears and she'd apologize for it. "I didn't hit her back," he said. "I'd hide in the attic when my family came to visit, and there were times I had to take time off work because I couldn't show up looking the way I did," he added, referring to the few hundred conflicts that had occurred between them over the course of 30 years. "After hitting me repeatedly, she possessed black bruises on her hands. When someone told her, 'Your arms are black,' she vowed not to attack me again." However, this statement contradicts the interview he gave to the media. He also claimed that he thought Tina had an undiagnosed psychiatric condition and that she occasionally threw violent outbursts at him. Satchwell claimed that Tina was too vain and in love with herself, and that he did not believe she posed a threat to herself. He said he loved Tina for these reasons. He suffered her abuse. Starting on the top floor and proceeding down through the home, the dog had been utilized to conduct a methodical search. The dog got very active when the stairs were searched. Ultimately, the revelation was made in a flash. Under the stairs, the builder's lights were bright. On the floor was an isolated piece of vintage 70s-style lino. When the lino pulled back, there was a different color of concrete. It was a fresh pour of concrete, which was very suspicious and unusual. Soon after they cracked through the concrete, everyone could see the black-gray plastic. When the dog saw the black plastic, it entered full freeze mode, which indicates the presence of human remains. The excavation of the site was then taken up by 2 forensic archaeologists, who discovered a grave that measured roughly 3 feet by 6 feet. According to testimony given during the trial, the archaeologists kept working until a hand was revealed. In 2017, an initial search of the Satchwell home was undertaken, but officers did not intrusively examine an area where construction work had been carried out. 6 years and 7 months after her passing, Tina Satchwell's bones were eventually discovered.
Yesterday evening, the Garda Technical Bureau team discovered what are believed to be human remains.
Tina's remains were taken from the secret cemetery and placed in a body bag the following day, according to testimony given during the trial. Richard was rearrested and admitted to being involved in the death of his wife. He also accepted that he kept Tina's body in a chest freezer before burying her beneath their home. There were horrific secrets lay hidden behind the Grattan Street house, waiting to be revealed. Following a 2021 examination of phones and laptops found during the original search of Satchwell's house in 2017, the Gardaí identified a number of issues with his account. Around 10:46 a.m. on March 20th, 2017, around the time his wife vanished, Satchwell texted about difficulties he was having buying 2 marmoset monkeys named Thelma and Terry. "I am in a mess right now because my wife has said she is leaving me over this," one of the messages claimed. The International Monkey Organization, from which the couple had been attempting to purchase the 2 animals, received a similar email from Satchwell at 10:42 a.m. in very close proximity to the killing. The message stated, "I put an awful lot of work into this, and my wife is saying she will leave me over this." At 9:08 p.m. on March 24th, 2017, 4 days after Satchwell informed Gardaí that Tina had left their house, a laptop stolen from Grattan Street was also used to look for quicklime, a material poured on top of bodies to aid in the decomposition process. The quicklime and water reaction YouTube video was also watched twice, seconds later. According to the trial, the Gardaí also hired a forensic accountant to do a financial analysis of the couple's earnings and determine whether Tina had taken 26,000 euros out of their funds, as the accused alleged. According to the accountant, there was no sign that the Satchwells had gotten a significant cash windfall to give them this kind of money. CCTV footage taken at 11:13 a.m. on March 20th, 2017, from the U-Haul post office revealed a serious discrepancy. Satchwell was seen claiming the dole. His claim that he had been in Dungarvan that morning when Tina was purportedly stealing money and packing suitcases was in direct contradiction to this.
And she asked me if I'd go over to Dungarvan for her. Yeah, I went to Dungarvan, got the bit of food that she asked me to get from Aldi over there. And then I returned to Youghal. And I opened the front door. And I went through. Normally she'd been in the front room with the pets, watching MTV or something. And she wasn't there. But the dogs were. So I thought she was just upstairs or something. I went up, she wasn't there. So naturally I thought she'd gone out for a walk on her own. But time passed, she didn't come back.
Tina's absence plagued U-Haul for years. During this, Richard swore his innocence, he participated in public appeals, and gave tearful interviews. However, an unexpected discovery made beneath their house in 2023 would alter his narrative and expose a horrifying reality. He made a new story to defend himself in court. What did he claim in court? According to Richard, he woke early around 5:30 a.m. to deliver some tea and toast his wife. Then he fixed some plumbing in the shed before returning to the house around 9 a.m. He saw Tina was at the bottom of the stairs with a chisel in her hand, scraping the plasterboard which he had recently put up. When he asked him what she was doing, she had attacked him with a chisel and died during a battle in which he was either acting in self-defense or did not intend to murder her. When her remains were finally discovered, they were skeletonized, making it impossible to ascertain what caused her death.
The remains have been removed to Cork University Hospital, where they will be subject to further examination, including DNA analysis. The family of Tina Satchwell continue to be updated on the progress of this investigation.
After Tina's body was taken from their house, Satchwell was arrested again on the suspicion of her murder. He told the Gardaí that his wife flew at him with a chisel, that he fell back onto the floor, and that he recounted her death after he claimed to have held her off by the bathrobe belt at her neck. In her closing remarks, Geraldine Small SC, the Director of Public Prosecutions, said that Richard had perpetuated his fabricated narrative and weaved a web of lies over the years. Counsel claimed that since Satchwell had killed Tina, his goal had been always to put everyone off the scent from the beginning. On 4th June 2025, the Central Criminal Court sentenced the defendant to life imprisonment. Satchwell had treated his wife's body with such disrespect. Everyone gets chills from the horrible way she was buried, wrapped in plastic and buried under concrete and dirt. A home in U-Haul, County Cork, at No. 3 Grattan Street, which was once a place where Tina Satchwell's laughter was warm, now stands as a somber memorial to loss. Her body was buried in the house where she used to take care of her cherished dogs for 6.5 years, hidden beneath the stairs. The close-knit community has been devastated by the news of her fate, and their sorrow hangs over the cobblestone streets like a thick fog. Once waving to Tina on her walks, the locals now shudder at the thought of her silent suffering, betrayed in her home. The home is feared by locals in Youghal, County Cork, to turn into a gruesome tourism attraction for true crime fans. For those who knew Tina, the thought of strangers swarming to the scene to stare at the place where her life was taken feels like a new wound. They worry that people drawn to the shadows will trample under the sanctity of her memory, transforming a site of personal tragedy into an attraction. Youghall's heart causes pain for Tina because of the years she was absent and the truth that was kept hidden for too long.
Sad. They're glad that she was found, but they're very sad, really, and there was an awful eerie feeling there around last night and today as well, I think,
I think people are happy that they found her and she can be laid to rest, and we're happy about that.
In addition to her passing, the community mourns the betrayal of their confidence and the stain it has placed on their sleepy town. Some pause as they pass number 3, their eyes sparkling, and they whisper prayers for Tina's soul to find peace, hoping that her story will continue to be a testament to her life, rather than the grim attraction of her death.
Tina would put a smile on anyone's face. She had a very bubbly personality and was a sociable person. She was always out and about with her babies Ruby and Heidi. She loved her fashion. She was always dressed so well. We will cherish the moments and all the great memories we spent with you.
After more than 9 hours of deliberation and nearly 5 weeks of trial, the jury returned a verdict. Tina's family, especially her sister Lorraine Howard and niece Sarah Howard, expressed their deep sorrow and indignation, highlighting the brutality of Satchwell's actions, which included keeping Tina's body in a freezer prior to burial and making that freezer available to family members.
During this trial, Tina was portrayed in a way that is not true to who she was. Tina was our precious sister, cousin, auntie, and daughter. Her presence in our life meant so much to us all. We as a family can never put into words the impact of her loss that has had on all of us. Tina was a kind, loving, gentle soul who loved her animals like they loved her, and that's the way we want her remembered. Today, as a family, we finally have justice for Tina. In this time, our family would like to ask for privacy to begin our healing.
Richard Satchwell is currently 58 years old and serving his life sentence in prison. Despite his earlier claims during the trial that Tina was violent, his legal team, led by barrister Brendan Grayhen, SC, confirmed his intention to appeal the conviction, arguing that he never intended to kill her and that she was a lovely person. His transition from petty criminality to a life sentence for murder and his 14 previous convictions for infractions like driving infractions, social welfare fraud, and larceny were insignificant in comparison. The Youghal and Fermoy communities, as well as Tina's family, have expressed relief at the justice done, but they are still dealing with the emotional toll of her passing and the trial's findings. Satchwell will have to face a future confined by prison walls, his claim of innocence overshadowed by indisputable evidence, as a result of the unanimous verdict and the judge's rejection of manslaughter arguments. May 18, 2020. The peaceful town of Pella, Iowa, known for its tulip gardens, Dutch heritage, and quiet neighborhoods, was about to witness an act of violence that would stain its reputation forever. As the sun dipped below the horizon, the streets remained calm, unaware of the darkness unfolding within their midst. On that spring evening, 56-year-old Michelle Boat drove through the streets with one purpose. Her mind was clouded by rage, jealousy, and betrayal. She wasn't out for a drive, she was out for revenge. Inside a parked truck sat 46-year-old Tracy Mondabo, completely unaware of the danger lurking nearby. Within minutes, her life would end in a storm of violence, stabbed to death by the estranged wife of the man she loved. This is the haunting story of Michelle Boat, a woman who let heartbreak turn into hatred and jealousy transform into murder. What drove her to commit such an unthinkable act? And how did the jury reach a decision in less than an hour? December 2019 marked the beginning of Michelle Boat's unraveling. For years, she had been married to Nick Boat. Friends described them as a normal couple. Two people who shared dreams, built a life together, and grew older side by side. But that winter, everything changed. Nick began to pull away. He became distant, cold, and silent. Michelle felt it immediately, sensing the shift that only someone who loves deeply can sense. Soon she discovered the reason behind his changed behavior. Nick had left her for another woman, 46-year-old Tracy Mondabo. Tracy was a mother and grandmother, described by friends as kind, gentle, and filled with laughter. To Michelle, however, she was simply the woman who destroyed her world. Michelle felt not only betrayal but humiliation. The man she had loved for decades had discarded her for someone else. Her heartbreak grew into anger, her sadness turned into bitterness, and her desperation transformed into obsession. In the weeks that followed, Michelle bombarded Nick with texts and calls. Some messages pleaded for him to return, others raged with hatred. Her friends noticed the change in her demeanor. She grew distant, agitated, and obsessed, unable to focus on anything except Nick and Tracy. Michelle's mind soon shifted from desperation to planning. Her thoughts became darker each day, consumed by the idea of making Tracy pay for what she believed was the ultimate betrayal. May 18th, 2020 began like any other day for Tracy. She went about her errands completely unaware that Michelle was following her every move. That day, Michelle woke up knowing exactly what she was going to do. She dressed in dark clothes and tucked latex gloves and a knife into her bag. Her mind was focused, her heart filled with rage. This was the day she would reclaim her power, the day she would end the source of her pain. For nearly an hour, Michelle followed Tracy's truck through Pella. She drove carefully, never too close to draw attention, but never too far to lose sight of her target. Tracy eventually parked outside her apartment complex and remained seated in her truck, perhaps scrolling through her phone or gathering her bags. Michelle parked nearby, put on her gloves, grabbed her knife, and stepped out into the evening air. Her footsteps were quick and silent as she approached Tracy's truck. Without warning, Michelle lunged forward, thrusting the knife through the open window. She stabbed Tracy repeatedly in the neck, chest, and arms, with such force and fury that the attack lasted only seconds. Tracy screamed in terror and pain, trying desperately to defend herself, but she was trapped by her seatbelt. When the attack was over, Michelle fled the scene, leaving Tracy bleeding to death in her truck. Neighbors who heard the screams called 911.
Like, my heart's beating when how much blood was on her face.
Do you have any idea what apartment she might have went in?
No, she looked like she just got in the car and left, but the vehicle that they were in and running in was where you're going to get blood is going to be in the Navy.
Dividing a 6-plex.
Well, it's not my house, though.
Is male and female in a scuffle. I think female is completely blood.
From face. And so in the back, in our driveway,
okay.
God, my heart's racing. This person has a maroon colored truck, and I don't know what they were fighting over. The horn was honking, and I was trying to mind my own business till I saw her.
Is the maroon truck still there?
The maroon truck is still there, but the other vehicle was like a 4-door, or looked like a Cadillac almost, and it looked like that woman got in the car and left. But
female may have left in possibly a Cadillac. She's advising a maroon truck is still in the back.
Oh, yeah.
That would have
Which
been female, huh?
That's the vehicle that the female was in when I thought it was just, I don't know. I didn't think it was anything until I just want this place cleaned up around here.
Sure. But you don't hear any yelling or anything right now?
Well, I came in to call you guys. I'm not going to stand out there not knowing the situation. I can go out there until someone comes.
But by the time paramedics arrived, Tracy was gone. May 19th, 2020. The morning after the brutal murder, detectives in Pella, Iowa, arrived at the crime scene with urgency and precision. Yellow police tape cordoned off the area surrounding Tracy Mondabo's parked truck, now stained with blood and filled with sorrowful silence. The warm spring breeze rustled through the trees, but nothing could clear the chilling aura left behind by the violent act that took place just hours earlier. Officers began their investigation methodically, starting with the immediate physical evidence inside and around Tracy's truck. Her blood was spattered across the driver's side door, seat, steering wheel, and window, indicating the sudden and forceful nature of the attack. Defensive wounds were visible on her arms, suggesting she attempted to shield herself, even as her seatbelt trapped her in place. Detectives canvassed the area, interviewing residents and bystanders. Some reported hearing screams, short, sharp, desperate, but by the time anyone looked out their windows or stepped onto their balconies, the assailant had vanished. Others mentioned seeing a dark vehicle circling the complex earlier in the evening, describing it as suspicious, but not alarming enough to warrant a call at the time. May 19th, 2020. Surveillance footage became crucial. Investigators obtained video from multiple businesses and traffic cameras around Pella. As they pieced together the footage hour by hour, a clear pattern emerged. Michelle Boat's vehicle was captured following Tracy's truck through town for nearly an hour, maintaining distance yet never letting her out of sight. Footage showed Michelle parking near Tracy's apartment complex moments before the attack. Though grainy, the outline of a woman exiting the vehicle matched Michelle's build and clothing, described by witnesses. Another camera showed her vehicle speeding away from the complex seconds after the assault took place. Inside Michelle's car, forensic teams discovered critical evidence. Blood droplets matching Tracy's DNA were found on the driver's side door panel and seatbelt buckle, suggesting Michelle had blood on her gloves or clothing when she re-entered the vehicle. Small strands of Tracy's hair were also recovered, stuck in the fibers of the passenger seat where the gloves had been tossed. Investigators then executed a search warrant at Michelle's residence. They found the latex gloves used during the attack hidden in her bedroom drawer. Luminol tests revealed faint traces of blood, even after an apparent attempt to wipe them clean. And in her laundry room, clothing Michelle wore that day tested positive for traces of Tracy's blood. Medical examiners performed Tracy's autopsy, cataloging every wound in detail. They noted multiple deep stab wounds to her neck and chest, injuries that would have caused rapid blood loss and almost immediate death. Defensive wounds on her forearms and hands told a tragic story of her final moments. Trapped by her seatbelt, she tried in vain to fight off her attacker. Most haunting was their discovery of blonde hair strands clenched between Tracy's fingers, later confirmed through DNA analysis to belong to Michelle Boat. Detectives questioned Nick Boat, who appeared distraught and stunned by Tracy's death. When asked about his estranged wife, Nick broke down, admitting Michelle had harassed both him and Tracy for months. He showed investigators dozens of text messages Michelle sent, some pleading with him to come home, others filled with venomous threats against Tracy. One read, "She'll pay for what she's done to me. I hope you're ready for that." Digital forensics expanded the case further. Investigators subpoenaed Michelle's cell phone records and GPS data, confirming her presence at Tracy's apartment complex at the time of the murder. Internet searches on her phone revealed chilling queries in the weeks before the killing. How to kill someone quickly with a knife, where to stab to kill instantly, and is it murder if they provoke you? Michelle was arrested without incident at her home. Body cam footage from her arrest showed her sitting calmly on her couch as officers explained why they were there. She nodded silently, not appearing surprised. During interrogation, Michelle admitted to killing Tracy but insisted she had not planned it. She claimed Tracy provoked her with insults and physical aggression, leading her to snap. Investigators, however, saw the case clearly. To them, this was a textbook example of premeditated murder driven by jealousy and obsession. The evidence, surveillance footage, forensic links, digital searches, threatening texts, and her own admission left no room for doubt. As Michelle was booked into jail awaiting trial, Pella's small community felt a wave of fear and sorrow. A woman once seen at local stores and church gatherings had become a murderer in their midst. Detectives closed the case file with confidence, knowing justice would soon be sought for Tracy Mondabo, a woman whose only crime was loving the wrong man at the wrong time. March 1st, 2021. Nearly a year after Tracy Mondebeau's brutal murder, the trial of Michelle Boat began in Marion County District Court. The courthouse was filled with tension as Tracy's family sat silently in the front rows, clutching tissues, bracing themselves to relive the horrific details of her death. Behind them sat Michelle's family members and curious townspeople, all eager to see how the justice system would respond to such a chilling crime. The prosecution wasted no time painting a vivid picture of premeditated murder. They described Michelle Boat as a woman consumed by jealousy and rage, driven to kill the woman she believed had stolen her husband. Prosecuting attorney Jared Harmon stood before the jury and declared, "This was not a crime of passion. This was a calculated, deliberate act by someone who planned to end a life." March 2nd, 2021. Evidence was presented methodically. Surveillance footage showed Michelle's car following Tracy's truck for nearly an hour through Pella, capturing her careful, calculated movements. Next came the forensic evidence. Tracy's blood and hair found in Michelle's vehicle. Michelle's hair clutched in Tracy's dying grip. Latex gloves bearing blood residue hidden in Michelle's home. Digital forensic experts testified about Michelle's phone searches in the weeks leading up to the murder. How to kill someone quickly with a knife, where to stab to kill instantly, and is it murder if they provoke you? The room fell silent as each search term was read aloud, leaving jurors visibly disturbed by the cold reality of her planning. March 3rd, 2021. The prosecution called Nick Boat to testify. As he took the stand, his eyes were glassy with grief and disbelief. He described Michelle's harassing messages and calls after their separation. Some texts were desperate, begging him to come home. Others dripped with hatred and threats. In one, Michelle wrote, "She doesn't deserve you. She deserves nothing. You'll see." The defense, however, argued that Michelle had been pushed beyond her emotional limits. Her attorney, Trevor Anderson, urged the jury to see her not as a calculated killer, but as a broken woman abandoned by the man she loved. "She snapped," he told them. "Years of marriage, stability, and identity ripped away overnight, then insulted, humiliated, and provoked by the woman who replaced her." March 4th, 2021. Michelle herself took the stand. Wearing a simple blue blouse and glasses, she appeared frail and exhausted. Her voice cracked as she recounted the confrontation with Tracy. She claimed Tracy taunted her, slapped her, and called her worthless, triggering her to see red and stab without thinking. Tears streamed down her face as she said, "I never meant to kill her. I just wanted her to stop hurting me." Prosecutors quickly dismantled her narrative. They reminded the jury of the surveillance footage, showing Michelle walking calmly towards Tracy's truck before launching her attack. There were no signs of an argument, struggle, or provocation, just a silent approach and a flurry of violent strikes. March 5th, 2021. Closing arguments left the courtroom heavy with emotion. The prosecution called the murder a textbook example of premeditated homicide rooted in jealousy, obsession, and rage. The defense pleaded for mercy, arguing for a lesser charge of manslaughter due to Michelle's emotional distress. After days of emotional testimony, evidence, and psychological analysis, the jury retired to deliberate. March 5th, 2021. The deliberation was shockingly brief. Within just 45 minutes, the jury returned with their verdict: guilty of first-degree murder. As the foreperson read the verdict aloud, Tracy's family wept openly, clutching each other in relief that justice had been served. Michelle sat motionless, staring ahead blankly, her tears long dried, her eyes vacant and defeated. April 10th, 2021. On sentencing day, the courtroom was silent with anticipation. The judge addressed Michelle sternly, declaring, "This was an act of cruelty, rooted in rage and jealousy, carried out with full intent to kill. Your actions ended a life and destroyed countless others." He then sentenced her to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Michelle showed little visible reaction as the sentence was read. Her shoulders slumped slightly, and she closed her eyes for a moment as if accepting her fate, knowing she would never again taste freedom. Tracy's family addressed the court in victim impact statements. Her daughter spoke through sobs, saying, "My mother's last moments were filled with fear and pain because of you. You stole her life. You stole our peace. We will never forgive what you've done. April 2021. As Michelle Boat was led away from the courtroom in handcuffs, reporters swarmed the courthouse steps, cameras flashing as her story spread across the state. Her name became synonymous with jealous rage, a cautionary tale of love twisted into hate. May 2021. In prison, Michelle's life transformed entirely. Gone were her routines of morning coffee and evening drives. Her days became defined by the rhythm of prison life: roll calls, structured meals, and cold concrete walls. She spent her time mostly alone, reading books from the prison library and reflecting silently on what led her to that cell. Meanwhile, Tracy's family began the painful process of grieving without the distraction of court dates. Her daughter described nights waking up screaming from nightmares, haunted by the thought of her mother's final moments. Her grandchildren asked where Nana went and why she wasn't coming back to bake cookies or watch movies with them. June 2021. Pella, Iowa struggled to process the crime that shattered its reputation as a peaceful, safe town. Residents spoke of their shock, admitting they never imagined someone like Michelle, a woman they saw at grocery stores and church gatherings, could harbor such darkness in her heart. July 2021. Domestic violence counselors used Tracy's story to educate the public about obsession, stalking behaviors, and emotional abuse. They emphasized how jealousy, when left unchecked, can turn deadly. Tracy's family worked with advocacy groups to launch community workshops in her name, ensuring her death would not be in vain. August 2021. Legal analysts called the case a textbook example of premeditated murder driven by obsessive jealousy. True crime enthusiasts debated online whether Michelle's sentence was too harsh or entirely justified, but to Tracy's family, the debate meant nothing. No punishment could undo the violence that stole her from them. September 2021. In prison, Michelle remained quiet about her crime. Correctional officers noted her withdrawn demeanor and minimal interaction with other inmates. Some speculated she felt remorse. Others believed she still blamed Tracy for her actions. October 2021. On what would have been Tracy's 47th birthday, her family gathered at her grave, leaving fresh tulips, her favorite flower, and handwritten notes telling her how deeply she was missed. Her daughter read aloud, "We love you, Mom. We'll keep living bravely for you." June 30th, 2025. 5 years later, the name Michelle Boat remains etched in Iowa's true crime history as a stark reminder of what happens when heartbreak turns into hatred. In prison, Michelle lives a life of silence and routine, forever haunted by the memory of the day she chose violence over healing. For Tracy's family, grief remains a constant companion. Her absence echoes in every family dinner, birthday, and holiday. Her grandchildren, now growing older, remember her as a woman with a warm smile and loving embrace, a woman taken far too soon. This is the story of Michelle Boat, the woman who let jealousy consume her soul and murder stain her hands. A story of love twisted into rage, a life ended in terror, and a community forever scarred by a crime driven by obsession.